Hello, hello, welcome. Happy Sunday. Welcome, you guys. How is everyone tonight? Hey, Savannah. Welcome in. Hey, Chloe. Hey, Chastity. How is everyone? Hello. Chloe, you did. I definitely saw your comment first. Hey, Jen. Hey, Nicole. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Happy end of April. May Eve. May Day Eve. Welcome, welcome. Just getting myself grounded here. Chloe, it paid off, your persistence. And Chastity's like, I see what you did there. You kept me busy so you could be first. Hey, Robert. Hello, Brandy. Welcome. Hey, Alyssa. Welcome in. Happy Sunday, everybody. How's everyone doing? It is like raining for 30 days over here. Definitely finishing April showers with a bang in Pennsylvania. For sure. Hey, Deidre. Welcome. It's been raining for days, so that's been like sort of like an energy suck, but I had a very productive work day anyway, and everyone just kind of had a lazy day around here. Oh, good, Brandy, I'm glad. Yeah, it's, we're shifting, we're changing months, and new coming in May, just more of the same, eclipse energy, retrograde, all the things. Lots of rain in New York too. I think there's continued rain in the forecast this week, which is needed in some ways, and certainly that could maybe help with the pollen if you had rain, Chastity. I'm not sure because I think sometimes that cleanses it. Other times I don't know if it sort of like mats it down. I don't know. We have lots of pollen happening here too, and the rain can be I don't mind when the sports get postponed because it just kind of gives us an extra day of a little more easygoing than most. But hey, Kelly, welcome in. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, bad rain doesn't help. I know. Yeah, the allergies are real. My son suffers pretty bad himself, so totally get that. Hey, Sandy. You have to make the video little. When it opens big, does it mute? Is there like a megaphone or like the sound horn looking thing with an X through it? Because sometimes I was having that today. Every time I played a video on my computer from Facebook, it opens muted. So I wonder if you might have to unmute. Hey, Erin, welcome. Hey, Debbie. Welcome, everybody. Yes, if you would like a card pull and so, please go ahead and comment. We'll be taking names and we'll get to that. You might notice that there's cards here already. I'm introducing the new deck for May and it's new to me. I have never worked with this deck. It is gorgeous. It's absolutely, you're going to feel the shift in the energy right away because it's soft, very connected to nature. So I wanted to tune in, pull the cards ahead of the live, and then I'm going to pull an extra card for us collectively for Beltane. So I have the Seasons of the Witch Beltane Oracle here that we're going to pull a card for Beltane and get a message for us collectively to go with our week ahead cards. So we'll launch into those in a minute. I want to tell you a little bit about everything going on here. So as I'm preparing to launch the May Empowerment Pack tomorrow, which is where those who are joining me for the Empowerment Pack, which is absolutely open and welcome to any who would like to come along, we tune into the energies for May, and I do so by bringing in intuitively selected colors, crystals, spirit animal energies, healing energies, and kind of like an overall theme for the month ahead. And so that inspiration had me choosing this beautiful deck. So this is called the Walking Meditation Tarot. This is by Dani'el Norman, who, if you were remember a few months ago, we worked with the Nordic Tarot, Odin's Tarot. If you remember, we worked with that deck. We loved it. This is another one of her beautiful decks, and I am really excited to dive in, but it's different. These are actually all photographs that she has taken on her walks and her journey through life and healing, and sort of produced them into a watercolor look and added in the tarot. So it's a really gentle, beautiful energy, very connected with nature. And so I'm continuing to feel the elements. Last week we brought in all the elementals and we talked about, and the earth element, I guess it's Taurus season, so I'm really feeling this urgency to just get grounded, to just come back into our bodies and connect with the earth. And so one of the ways we can do that, of course, is going out into nature, taking walks if we can, or moving our bodies. And I know that some of us talked about that as being a goal that we were working toward, getting more movement into our day, taking a break, stepping outside, going for walks. I'm going to admit it right now, I have not done a great job. And what's really amazing about this deck is not only does it give you the full tarot through these beautiful images, but also she has an additional book between these two gorgeous guidebooks that is for guided walking meditation. And she's put together an entire book of guided walking meditations that are so beautiful and thoughtful. And it's actually a part of, I know there's been a lot of communications today, and you may or may not have seen them, that I don't want to miss what everybody's saying here. Oh, we have some Taurians in the house. Yes, yes. I love it. Perfect. Well, then you guys can guide us in the energies of really embracing all of the blessings of what it is to be a Taurus and to carry that beautiful energy. My beloved grandfather was a Taurus through and through, May 11th. And he was absolutely the strong bull of our family. So when I think of a Taurus, I always think of my grandfather, who literally drove a Ford Taurus for many, many years. And was quite connected in nature and working outdoors and growing things and doing all of the earthy stuff. The meditations that are in here is part of a special gift that I'm going to be doing. I mentioned today, if you haven't seen it yet, it's going to be here. I'm going to plug it back in here. I put a little video up earlier today about something that I'm diving into this month called Marco Polo is an app. Sharecast is a platform where I'm kind of tucking into a little corner of the world to call in Marco Polo style all the peeps that are aligned, where outside of social media and those limitations and algorithms and things not being seen or whatever du jour, the reason that I didn't post the video with this event tonight is because right now Facebook isn't letting us do that. I don't know. So Marco Polo, there's more about it in my post, but anybody who wants to come along this month on the Sharecast totally for free, it's just a place that I'm going to be sort of using to a landing place and then operating through that with a lot of my offerings like the Empowerment Pack and other readings and services there too. It's an awesome way to communicate. So anybody who comes along this month and just checks out the Sharecast, I am going to be recording some of these meditations and sharing them with you throughout the month. So I'm really excited to dive into that. Like I said, it's all new for me too. I haven't had a chance to work with any of it. So we're going to start exploring this deck. That's what I'll be using tonight for your personal card pulls as well. And I'm just going to check some comments here. I don't want to miss anything. Miss Sharon, you're going to catch the rerun. No problem. We will get your card pull for you. Jen's recapping everybody she has so far. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to start talking about these cards in a sec with our usual 5-card spread. But I want to talk a little bit for a second about Beltane. And I know that we have some really knowledgeable ladies in the crowd that can definitely elaborate on this, but I just was reading the introduction to this book, and it was just really beautiful how it was tying it all together. And, you know, again, never ceases to amaze me how, whether we're talking about the zodiac, whether we're talking about the tarot, whether we're talking about pagan holidays, there's this thread of energy that is consistent and that we can all tap into in whatever way resonates with us, right? So whatever appeals to us. So I'm just going to take a look in here. This is a series, awesome series of oracle cards, Seasons of the Witch, and this is talking about the wheel has turned again, right? So this time we're setting our eyes upon Beltane, and that is the season of abundance, fertility, passion, and growth. And so this is a deck that is going along with their series that identifies each of the Sabbats that will, and I have several of them, and any that that haven't printed yet, I already have ordered because I just love them. But specifically about the Beltane Oracle, what I love about this is a deck to grab when you're ready to make yourself a priority. And that is what we're talking about here. We're talking about self-care. We're talking about Taurus season, about, you know, getting grounded and tuning into the vibration of pleasure and enjoyment for you and allowing yourself that. So I love this energy coming in here, this deck bringing in extra messages as well. So I am going to pull a Beltane card to kick us off, and then we'll start feeling into these 5 cards for the week ahead. Okay, Sandy is still having sound issues. Oh, just not, oh, you're getting the comment issue. Yeah, I know. Okay, well, yeah, we'll keep in contact. I'm glad that you're commenting, you just can't see them. Okay, let's spray the Earth Elemental again. Kat, your phone's gonna die before you get home. Okay, we're getting everybody for the card pulls. I'm spraying my feet because this is about connecting with the earth, getting grounded, connecting in with the bottoms of our feet. And everybody may have different grounding practices they like. One of the things I like to do, if I am just sitting straight in a chair or somewhere that my feet can be flat on the ground, is to just allow myself to take some deep cleansing breaths, breathing into my belly, exhaling out a few times, and then picturing straws coming from the bottom of your feet into the earth. So picturing I'm on the top floor of my house, and I could sit here and envision those straws, and they're going through every layer of my house down into the concrete, into the earth, and I could be breathing into that with those straws, earthing, yes. And the straw is able to pull in all of the high vibrational energy from the earth and flush out everything that we are releasing. So I love that straw energy of bringing in and releasing out, and just doing that, a couple mindful breaths. You could do it, you know, anywhere, even sitting in the car, you know, not while you're actually driving, but, you know, in the car, in traffic, at a desk, sitting outside, beautiful, wherever it speaks to you. Just to kind of get yourself feet flat on the floor and feeling connected with the earth. And certainly if you're going for a walk too, a mindful way of being as well. I know I'm going to need these glasses again, so I'm just going to leave them on. So let's go ahead and tune into a collective Beltane message for us to highlight this week, to highlight this energy, and then we'll start talking about our 5 cards. Ooh, sandalwood, patchouli, and lime. I love that. That sounds like a good combo of essential oils for my diffuser tomorrow. I'm going to try that out. I love that. Sandy, you're going to try your laptop. I don't know. We've tried all the different tricks to, I don't know if the swiping in and out helps when you're a spectator or just when you're producing the live. Hey, Emily, welcome. Thank you for joining. That's my original OG on the Marco Polo right there. I was just talking about Marco Polo and the Sharecast, and anybody who wants to check it out, I have a little video there that talks a little bit about how I've been using Marco Polo for 3 years. And Emily's my girl. Taught her tarot over Marco Polo. All right, guys, let's see what's coming up for us with the Beltane Oracle message for us collectively. She's my OG. She also is my old neighbor. We used to live next door to each other. Now she's a whole town away, but I still get to see her face every day on Marco Polo. All right. Hashtag Elm Street. All right. Beltane. Message for us. There it is. All right. Beautiful. The message is surrender. There's nothing more blissful than the act of letting go, of setting yourself free of all that doesn't serve you. How perfect is that for this eclipse season, where, as we've already seen through the first eclipse, in many cases, sometimes dramatic, sudden even, endings, shifting, new beginnings, clearing the way, right? How are we going to experience this thing? This thing is happening. How am I going to experience it? Because I feel that there's something actually very empowering in surrendering. The act of surrender is I'm choosing to surrender. I'm allowing for what is ready to go, what must come down, to clear and create space for the new that will be coming in. So that's so beautiful. Now she's surrounded by butterflies, fireflies. I'm going to see what the book says. Beautiful nonetheless. And I feel like could even be moth energy, which would be perfect because, spoiler alert for my empowerment pack peeps, spirit animal. I already tuned in today. Spirit animal is the moth. So check that gorgeous card out. And we're going to see what the message is. It's card 41. And the keyword is surrender, letting go. It is time to let go of the past, dear one. You are missing out on the blessings that are waiting to enter your life by holding on to old wounds, traumas, and hardships, which has prevented you from finding the beauty in the struggle and the lessons learned. While you cannot change the past, you can let it go and decide what your future will be. Regret will only hold you a prisoner, and dwelling on past mistakes will blind you to the truth of how beautiful you are. Know that your current situation cannot be resolved until you allow yourself to heal. Heal something from your past. Surrender has come to you to facilitate the healing that is long overdue. Any mistakes you've made are practice runs that have prepared you for success. Oh, I like that. Any mistakes you've made are practice runs for setting you up here for success, preparing you. And the hurts that you have experienced have strengthened you and slowly molded you into a diamond of worth. You can move forward knowing your past has given you the knowledge to be better prepared the next time around. Do not think your past makes you unworthy. That's another key word of Taurus season, worthiness, right? Worth. And instead, know that you are deserving precisely because of all that you have faced. So that's a beautiful message because, you know, everything that you have faced, and, you know, we've all seen these sayings out there, you know, so far your track record's pretty good. You've survived 100% of every challenge that you've ever faced. You are here. You're still standing. I'm so glad this is resonating for you. Oh, yes, Ginger. It is. It's really just getting us right at the center here. I love the energy of this, just being in that place. And if you remember a couple weeks ago, we talked about the teal energy. We talked about the Alta Major chakra at the base of your skull. And that's sort of being like a filter that is, you know, experiencing everything that's going on outside and around you, that we can pick up things and be carrying things. So speaking of those straws to just flush out and clear, this has been a recurring message. It doesn't matter if it's like, my toilet was clogged, so I come in here giving you guys an analogy about clearing pipes, or what I mean, we've been through it all, guys. We've had, but my heating and air conditioning unit was all a mess, and there was soot everywhere. Like, I've been sponsoring all of these messages in real life. But there's this call now for us to tend to that part of ourselves that needs the love, the attention, the worthiness, the self-care to release and let go of the excess. So I love how that's all weaving together. Oh, Kat's going to lose us. Okay, we'll see you, Kat. And don't worry, the replay will be here. So that's a perfect card to set the tone as we walk into, and again, this gorgeous deck about a walking meditation. So I kind of put out here some stepping stones. I have some on the May altar, but these are some of my other ones. Stepping stones of walking into our own empowerment, through our own healing, through this act of surrender. There's words here like faith, hope, peace, love, and gratitude. Stepping stones as we walk, as we move with intention. So there's just this beautiful energy we can embrace this month of being very mindful and intentional in our steps, and take those steps at your own pace, in your own way, but take them, right? We are moving forward in time. So let's see what we have coming in here, kicking it off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Monday came in here, and the card is the Four of Swords, which is perfect because over on the, oh, hold on a second, Alyssa's having, Alyssa's cutting in and out. Oh, okay, no problem. I haven't seen, it hasn't shown me that you just came in or anything, so that's good. Do what you got to do, mama. We'll be here. So Four of Swords. This card came up on the Sharecast on Marco Polo. I've been doing some extra things, like those little videos you see me record, like tomorrow morning. I'll be recording a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, quick clips, kind of just giving a little synopsis of everything that comes up here. I also have been pulling cards for the weekend. So that's another thing that'll be happening over there. This card came up for the weekend, which was allowing us to tune into the energies of resting and receiving, because the Four of Wands, this reminds me like when you just finally lay down on the ground and just look up, right? You just sprawl out on the ground and just look up and what you might see. This is giving me that energy of just surrender, right? Of just releasing, putting down those swords. We know that the swords are the air element, and they're connected in with our mind, with our thoughts, with analysis and strategizing and thinking and all of that headsy stuff. The Four of Swords, we lay the swords down, and it's allowing ourselves to rest and receive. So Monday, kicking off the week, setting the tone for the week, and it really does feel like, the 5th, 5-5, Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, portal, there's a lot happening. It's another supercalifragilisticexpialidocious day. It's the 5-5 portal. It is it's the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. So, there's a lot going on there. Time to rest up right now. This is the 5-day window that's going to culminate into that next eclipse. And we'll talk more about that energy as we get a little closer. But I really feel this setting the tone for this week, because it is about allowing ourselves a time out, a breather, connecting with nature, putting down the headsy stuff, and really just allowing ourselves to rest and receive, surrender, right? So, oh, okay, you guys are putting kids to bed. I hear you. I saw the word wrangle. All right, Tuesday is a potential block or challenge. And it's interesting because you're going to see this is the star. This is the major arcana card, the star, which can sometimes be very bright, right? Because it's about hope. It's about healing. It's about renewal. It's about wishes coming true. Here we kind of see it in the clearing, right? We see that star coming through a clearing. How might that be a potential block or challenge this week? And so when it comes to the things that we are wishing for, hoping for, our aspirations, isn't it so beautiful? I love it. And just the symbolism even of just the state of those leaves, we can see that they're in transition. We can see that there is change coming in, right, on either side of the star there. Kelly. See, now I have been working myself toward that being one of the things I do for myself. I'm like, okay, my hands are on camera a lot, and I'll do that for now, and I have been. Yeah, I'm sorry. Ring envy. I know. Also, I'm just carrying it all with me tonight. I love it. But it's all for you. You guys can have sightings whenever you want. So I know that there was a beautiful sentiment in the book about the star. And I'm sorry, I know I'm going a little bit slower, but I want to be able to really feel into the energies of this deck, especially because some of the cards she even gets into what's the symbol of what we see in the card. I don't know if the star is one of them, but for sure, anything that has animals and things, I've been seeing some beautiful insights. And I love a good symbolism from nature reference. So, you know, certainly we know you may be familiar with the star as a time of healing, deep reflection, of gratitude, of noting how far you've come, right? And being guided by the light and your higher self, following your North Star, you know, tuning into that. But what if it's challenged as a potential block or challenge? When in reverse or in a challenge state, someone could be feeling as if the universe has let them down, that they lack the confidence or faith to move forward into their starlight. So there's a guidance here to take time out, reflect on all the past attributes that got you here. This is so perfect because it's the surrender card, right? It's all the mistakes have all been preparing me, right? Oh, Cat made it on the last bit of juice. All right. Didn't skip a beat. So this is really connecting in with the Beltane energy of surrender with the star, right? And with the Four of Swords. So I'm loving all this interconnectedness. So, you know, recognize all of the past attributes that got you here. Same thing I just said, 100% of all the challenges, you did it. You made it. Might have been ugly. Maybe it wasn't pretty, but you're here, right? So that's what the star is saying when challenged as well. Recognize that in order to see light, you must first experience darkness. Yes, one of the greatest gifts that we get is contrast, to know its opposite in order that we might appreciate. Yes, Kelly, shine bright like a diamond. I love it. Yes, in order to shine, I have to know its opposite. I have to know the darkness in order to appreciate the light. If it's just beaming all the time over here, just raining diamonds all the time, that gets a little complacent, you know, believe it or not, right? So there is that energy of the contrast and recognizing the blessings in the contrast that comes in. So, you know, ascend into the light, go deep into your trauma and painful memories. That's speaking to Chiron. Chiron has been very active. I've talked about that on my page, on Facebook, on Instagram, on my YouTube. I've been sharing some videos that are coming around again. I talked about the Nautilus shell, talked about things coming around. Okay, Sandy, no problem. If I think you wanted a card pull, we'll get you and it'll be there for you on the replay. Thank you for trying. Mercury is in retrograde, so we get to blame all the technical problems on that for the next several weeks. It has been rough. But thank you for trying. We'll catch you. So ascending into the light, go deep into your trauma and painful memories, those things that are coming around again, those things that are reflecting back to us in other situations with other people, but there's a familiar energy to it. Coming around again for healing, for final release and letting go of, really, like the surrender card says. So you're never alone, though. At times it might feel like it. So allow your walls to come down, even just for a moment. Stop dwelling on negative aspects and things that happened in the past. That's only going to lower your energy and keep you in a lower vibration. So, you know, to the extent that there's any of that coming up throughout this week, because this is talking about a potential block or challenge, would be maybe having difficulty seeing the light or following the light when it comes to things. However, we know on the other end of this, we have this full moon coming in, illuminating things in a very powerful way through this lunar eclipse. So I do believe that this is like the clearing coming in for this change and transformation that is coming throughout eclipse season. Yes, when the sun shines, we shine together. See, I love when, like, you know, like in a movie, when someone starts like reciting something, but they're really saying lyrics to a song, but it sounds very like prayerful or like really well thought. We could totally do that with that song. Because you know that when the sun shines, we shine together. Oh, yeah. All kinds of weather. So potential blocker challenge, bringing us into our midweek blessing. So midweek blessing is coming in here. King of Cups. I love it. I love this guy. Look at him. So know that these are beautiful photographs that Dani'el took, that she then took her nature photography from her walkabouts through her healing journey and created a tarot deck. So this is the King of Cups as a midweek blessing. Well, it's good that they do, Kelly, because lyrics are like life, right? I mean, they speak so much truth and they're so open to interpretation. That's another thing when you find out like what the artist actually meant by the lyrics and it had a totally different meaning for you, or sometimes we interpret it as totally different lyrics. Nonetheless, it's about speaking to us. So the King of Cups, again, is in a very even-keeled and balanced, unemotional state, or even emotion. Very much tied into our intuition, into our feelings, but not in an out-of-balanced state. So it brings in that balance. And what I love is that, again, I don't want to like have to read from the book for every card, but I know that this one had a reference to the mallard duck, and I thought that was really cool. So I just wanted to share some of the insights here with the King of Cups to really feel into how it's showing up here for us this week as a midweek blessing. So it's talking about your head and heart fully aligned with one another. So we start here with the head. Here we're talking about the cups, which is the water element, which is the heart, which is the heart chakra, love. Head and heart balancing out and being in alignment. So it enables you to feel clear and unattached to the emotional aspect in situations, because there's a lot going on, right? Collectively, individually in our worlds, and there's all this astrological energy happening that's bringing up all the feels and all of these dramatic differences in energy, right? And you have mallards outside and you call them Baba Ganoush. Oh my God, stop. Because I can't remember my son's. Oh, I love it. Baba Ganoush. That's a good movie too. Couple of stage 5 clingers with those ducks hanging around. So what is the spiritual meaning of the duck? So here she outlines that seeing a beautiful mallard duck is mesmerizing. The males will dote on the females and protect her. He watches over her, giving her space to do her thing. Where in your life can you allow more space for others to grow? How can you show more unconditional love and compassion to yourself and others? Use your intuition to guide you in the right direction. So this can be any number of ways. I'm instantly having a parental connection here because yesterday was my daughter's junior prom. And it was a big day. I mean, it was a big milestone for her. It was just very emotional seeing her growing up and becoming the beautiful young woman that she is. While weaving in, like, you know, the sensible prom talk. And so this is reminding me of, I think, a lot of parents, no matter what stage your ducklings are in, having that challenge of recognizing where we can allow some more space for others to grow, to guide them. I'm getting like the mama duck with all the ducklings going across the road, and how she just has to allow them to cross themselves. Like she's guiding them, she's showing them, she's emanating a way to do it, but ultimately those ducklings have to cross the road 1 foot in front of the other themselves, right? And so there's an aspect of that we're being challenged here that is actually a blessing, because I think that, you know, when we have that awareness, when we're in a space of being able to show more unconditional love and compassion for ourselves and others, that there's more of a feeling of being togetherness, you know, being a part of the same flock, because then it feels like we're all in this together, but you're experiencing it through your lens, your journey. And I am holding space with unconditional love and compassion for you. So who might you be encountering throughout your week in your world? Whether it be children or friends, family, co-workers, neighbors, you know, the guy in the line, the person that cut you off in traffic, whatever it is, where we could really tune into that king. And if you remember last month, they were called the Mastery of Cups. In fact, That's great, because you know who the Mastery of Cups was. It was the Ursula card. It was all the octopus. She was a bad AB, right? That energy. Here it is now in this form as a midweek blessing. And this is what I love about the tarot and cards and all the things. How do we go from that commanding Mastery of Cups card with the octopus and that woman in the middle just holding it and representing herself with such class and power to this majestic mallard duck, you know, and this sturdy old tree and the symbolism, then you could get a totally different message, but it's emanating that energy of mastering your cups, your heart energy with the head energy, and finding that sweet spot, that balance, and then emanating that for others to lead the way. There's definitely a duck like childhood song like that. So like, I don't know if it's 6 little ducks that I once knew, that one skinny one, fair ones too, or something. But then there's something about leading the way. It's funny, I'm getting like a duck song that has to do with leading the way or going the way, but I'm feeling it. So that is coming in here to navigate us through this week and these sometimes very intense and tumultuous energies, but also recognizing that not everyone is coming to the party here with all the same tools in their tool belt. So that's another thing, is the other around us might be flailing their wings and flapping around because they don't necessarily have the awareness that you have, or coming to the table with the wisdom or the experience that you've gleaned. Or you might see somebody over there, like you might be the one flipping out and splashing all around and be like, how are they so calm over there? Like, you know, shouldn't we all be flipping out? And learn, again, using that unconditional love and compassion. So beautiful energy to be a midweek blessing for us. So now let's see what we have on Thursday. Yes, this is the card. So Thursday is How Are We Growing? And it's the 6 of Pentacles. Mama Duck say quack, 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 or something like that. Yes, there's definitely some songs that I was thinking of. There's duck songs for sure. Brittany is going to bed. No problem. Oh, I hope you feel better. Yeah, I don't know if you asked for a card pull, but if you want one, we got you. You can catch the replay for sure. I hope you feel better. Get some rest. So coming into Thursday for How We Are Growing, I did not have a lot of time before I came on here because I was just rushing around to get all the things ready. We were having dinner and just making sure everything was good, because I know that the kids are supposed to be wrangled into bed before, when I get off of here, but may or may not. Usually they wait up for me. So I didn't get to catch it all, but Jennifer posted something this evening that was giving me all the feels. So I came on here and I spritzed myself and I just got centered. But I want to say that I know that it is in reference to this card about how are we growing, the 6 of Pentacles, the energy of reciprocity, the energy of balancing scales, of energy exchanges, right? And so look at this card. Once again, we have this energy of transformation and change and things changing over. And so I think that this is speaking a lot to how we're growing, is just what we were talking about, and something that Jennifer was beautifully saying about our self-care, about investing in ourselves, about making ourselves a priority, about recognizing our worth and our worthiness, and practicing what you preach. The only person I can see right now is me, looking back at me. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. So I'm so moved that this card came up, and the beautiful post, Jennifer. I can't thank you enough, and I know I'm going to get emotional if I talk about it too much, but if you know, anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, Jennifer posted something speaking to a beautiful suggestion that she made, that she made from her heart about my work and my passion of being here and connecting with you all, and some suggestions on ways for me to help balance my scales and the reciprocity and the energy exchanges, and supporting what I love to do and what I feel so blessed to be here doing. And then just having that flow. And so I know that so many of us struggle with this, about owning our worth, about allowing ourselves to take up space, right? And so I'm feeling that we're growing into this. Like, I'm tired of myself talking about it. Like, talk about, all the previous times before that I said, and like, I'm still saying it. I'm like, I am so tired of you. Like, this version of you. Like, isn't it time for you to move on? So, and I only say that to myself with love. But I'm saying I feel this growth that we have an opportunity to really expand into. And all the things are helping to facilitate that right now. Chastity, we did. Yes, thank you. It's people like, that's what happens. So when you're allowing your tank to run empty, or you're not owning your worth, the universe is going to come at you in the form of people being like, asking you flat out, like, how do you, like, what do you get from this? How do you do, like, does anybody pay? Like, and I'm like, good question. So it's like the universe just keeps getting louder and louder. And then if we don't listen, what really happens is we have burnout, right? Or we just get resentful or anything. And we don't want that to happen in any area of our life. And so this is how we can grow, right? Robert, thank you so much. I mean, just being here right now, talking to everybody, that is something that I never, ever thought that I would ever do. And I know that it can seem like some people are just out there and bubbly and talking and all that. There are many degrees of safety layers that I have in place. Number one, being on this live in a private group. And then putting it out in places where, who's watching anyway? My friends. So there's a degree of safety there. And so it's been it's an ongoing process here for me too. Practicing what I preach and embracing those places where I recognize that I may not be walking my talk, or taking up all my space, or owning my worth. And it's not just about me, but remember, everybody that's coming up to us is also reflecting back to us. And if it's not reflecting back to us something that we need, or that we have an opportunity to embrace, again, the contrast. So we can also see to say, oh girl, I don't have any problem asking for something if I'm due, and then it's like, well, that's inspiring to me to see that someone else is very confident in their abilities, and thank you, Kelly. I really appreciate that. And that's what's so silly, is that sometimes it's about, if you don't speak up and express yourself, or stand in your power, or, allow yourself to step over things like, oh, I don't want to ask. I don't want anybody to feel, I don't want to be like to what end, right? Because I want to be able to continue to do this. And I think I just so enjoy everyone here. I love the energy. I'm so grateful for, of course, starting with Rob and Jen, this place, and meeting the two of you. And it has totally changed my life in terms of, stepping into embracing my gifts and my passion. I worked in the corporate world for 20 years. And then I woke up and I had 4 kids, and realized that, this lifestyle of constantly working endlessly in the cubicles and sitting in the car, like, it was no longer resonating, and it wasn't working, and it was time to step into, and I was so blessed then for the last 7 years now to be a stay-at-home mom. But that's an adjustment because, again, I'm sharing all this personally, not just to talk about me, but to say how we all know what this is. We know what these 6 pentacles are on those scales, the haves and the have-nots, and, when things are out of balance and out of whack in our life. And sometimes it's because out of necessity, because there was times in my life where I had no choice but to sit in that traffic every day. That was my reality at the time, right? Thank you so much. And there were so many times sitting in those cubicles, it's like, what is this for? How am I making a difference in the world, right? But I've had a lot of epiphanies about that too, that I would love to share sometime. I like to share it as it comes up in my readings about, a lot of times we're questioning, what is my life path? What is my purpose? What should I be doing? Because this dead end job or this thing just doesn't feel, it's soul sucking and all the things. Now I have this hindsight of being able to see how the skill set that I gained working on a phone queue in customer service, talking to retirees and elderly people who didn't understand their health insurance benefits. They certainly didn't understand the emerging technology that was happening at the time. I developed a skill set in being able to speak to them in a way, to meet them where they were, very much this King of Cups energy of coming to people with that unconditional love and compassion, to be able to convey that to them. And then all of a sudden, 19 years later, I'm sitting right here on my floor in my bedroom doing a healing for the most beautiful 80-year-old woman that I've ever met. And I realized that that's what it was all for, you know? And I could have nobody could have told me 19 years ago that I would be reading tarot in my bedroom for people I met on the internet. You know, you want to talk about your health insurance, I could talk to you about that all day. So this is what it's all about. And it's really coming full circle here, because it's all weaving together with what I've been talking about today about the Sharecast and what I'm trying to build on Marco Polo, because it's about, we're calling out to our people like Marco Polo in the pool and coming together and connecting online and in all this the way that technology is advancing faster than we can keep up, and trying to keep relevant and make businesses and lives within all of it with beautiful people like this. And so I'm just really feeling so much love right now. I'm so glad I'm wearing these glasses so you can't see the tears that are forming over here. Yeah, who cut the onions? Come on now. Come on. Woo. I got something in my eye. I love you guys, and I thank you for being here and showing up and giving me life and giving me a way to share what I love doing. And I think that's what this is about, right? It's not just about me. I'm just using myself as one story. Again, what did I say? Things that are coming around again in our life, showing up, looking at us very different people, different circumstances. But what's happening right now? I'm being invited once again and again and again to own my worth, to stand in my power, to ask for something, right? And each time I come to it, there's a little bit of I'm coming at it from a new perspective where I now have other tools and wisdom and awareness I didn't have back then. And now I have the benefit of my mistakes, my experiences, surrender, energy from the Beltane Oracle, were preparing me for what I am growing into, what I am expanding into, right? And that's, thank you, Janetta. I know it is okay. You're right. And I know it's safe here too in the nest. It's vulnerable, right? And one of the things is, what's happening right now? I can see myself. I can only see me. I'm looking back at me. So it's like true mirror therapy right now to be seeing myself, expressing myself, right? So this is the key right here to this week, and what the transformation that's happening right now is about balancing those scales and owning our worth, but also having that compassion and unconditional love for ourselves and others. Thank you, Ginger. I so appreciate each one of you guys. I just want to look in here because I know that there's something in here about the Six of Pentacles. Yes, bringing it back into our connection with nature and how nature inspires us to see that the tree gives life to the earth, and the earth gives to the trees. So the tree gives to the earth, and the earth gives to the trees. Learning from your past, you are in a position to give back. This is a time of compassion, generosity, inner growth, and the sharing of your prosperity. You have created balance where there was once instability. You have ascended to the higher realms of reality, now spiritually open and aware. How are we growing? New opportunities are available to you to bring love, compassion, and harmony to your life as well as to others around you. Share your past. Share your past with those who are in need of your loving guidance. I'm going to have to tell Dani'el she can put a picture of me in here because I literally just said that. Wow. Are we in tune with this energy or what? Share your past. You never know. We all have such interesting stories. What was it the other day that there was a post on one of your pages about sharing 3 things about yourself and one of them is a lie? And it's like, I was totally lurking. I did not get to contribute, and I am a perfectionist and an overthinker, and I always question whether I have any interesting tidbits to share, and I can't come up with anything exciting enough, so I didn't. But I love reading everybody else's. And it's like, ooh, wow, they did that. They met that person. Colleen, yes, Colleen had that post. I couldn't remember because a couple of the pages have had some great posts lately. Kristen's had some great ones with, adding up the points of all the things that we've done. All this stuff. So I love all of this, this connection. And the idea that that's how we are growing. That is how we are growing in acknowledging that we all have something to share. It doesn't have to be in the form of pentacles either. It's an energetic exchange and support. And also recognizing how the past informs our present. And of course, now we stand here from that higher, more empowered place to step into the future. So really, really beautiful energy to anchor us in. I know I'm talking a lot, so I try to be mindful of the time because I know it's a lot, and with all the time differences, what everyone has going on, I don't mean to cut anything because I really enjoy this conversation, but I want to keep going so I can get to your card pulls. So we move into Ron Swanson. We move into Friday. And I feel like there's some anchoring on either end here because this is the 5 of Swords. Now, so take in this 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords is a card that I like to say, victory, but at what cost? Is the juice worth the squeeze? A hollow victory. One of the things I saw too here, I am getting some collective vibes, like world stage vibes, is that the energy with the eclipse coming in. Also, Pluto is going retrograde tomorrow. So joining Mercury retrograde is Pluto retrograde, the planet of life and death, and really at the center of so much of the transformation and change that is happening, and will be cycling back through that energy. That some of the guidance I've seen is about things coming to light, truths, cutting through BS and things happening where, again, victory, but at what cost? Hollow victories, things not being exactly as they're presented, as all that type of energy. So I feel like, again, this is coming right into 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. This is eclipse day. This is Scorpio full moon. So we have this energy of the 5 of Swords, of really looking at what we're putting our energy into and what we're not. And I'm going to take a look and see what she has in the book straight away, because I really appreciate how it weaves together the beautiful imagery and the traditional associations with the tarot. So this 5 of Swords is speaking to I refer to it as Uranus. And when Uranus is retrograde, that would be crappy. Oh, that's so great. Oh, I love it. I love it. Laughter is the best. You guys are the best. I love it. It is a full moon. Scorpio full moon. Uranus is not. Well, actually, I'll have to see what Uranus's role is in all of this. But yes, at least it's not Uranus. The 5 of Swords is talking about rough waters ahead. So keeping this in mind about whatever, again, on every level, wherever we are, wherever we're focusing our energies. So there's that big macrocosm of humanity and global, and just keep going, to all the layers, right? So thinking about eclipses coming in and revealing things and shifting things and transforming things and sudden flashes and all that type of energy, along with the scorpionic energies and all of the other aspects that are at play, we feel into this card through that lens. So it says, We are all one. Rather than seeking to be right all the time, a mindset of openness and compassion is what will propel you forward. It is time to question what you are getting out of this mindset of me against you mentality. You may be projecting your own thought process about yourself onto others, and if so, how can you dig deep into your own self to repair this thought process? When seeking to be right, lay down your sword and listen. Use your energy to embrace the other person. Seek oneness in all that you do and say, love is the answer to everything. So, I mean, yes, the thread of the universe is thick, Katie, for sure. I saw you said that, and it is quite thick, because I feel this energy. We were asked about how we can embody unconditional love and compassion. Hey, Kendra, welcome. There's laughing, there's crying. Come on in. Come on in. This energy of holding that highest timeline, that highest frequency, of anchoring yourself into love, of grounding yourself into love, right? Walking in the path of love, all of that energy. So it feels like there is some tumultuous energy here. It's beautiful the way it's depicted here, because it's talking about rough waters ahead. It's talking about some choppiness. It's talking about, you know, it's frozen over here, but there's some breaking up in there, and we see this energy, and it's, you know, it's bleak looking, but it's saying that you can actually set down. You don't have to play in that game. You don't have to engage in that fight. There is another vibration that you can hold and emanate, again, like the mama duck crossing the road, teaching through her actions, through her steps, and all of that. 3 majors, right? Nobody tells you that. They just say terrible 2s, and that's not all. I know a lot about 3 majors, and especially sassy smart ones like we have. Hang in there, mama. We're just saying that we're coming into an eclipse. We're coming into a Scorpio full moon on Friday. So it's all coming in. Yeah, breaking up with your past self can feel ominous, because it's been with you all those times that we said we made it through 100% of all the challenges. Past self was there in the driver's seat. Past self was here for it, has the t-shirt. So that's about embracing gratitude. Thank you for playing your role so well, past self. There was a time and a place, again, without getting too much, because I'll... How did I get this way? How did I become a people pleaser, a perfectionist, a mediator who wants everybody to be happy, even if it means to my own detriment? How did I get that way? Well, there was a time in my life where that suited me. That was survival, right? That was a skill set that an aspect of me learned and put into place to survive. And it becomes so ingrained in us. And that's where we get devil energy from, right? This comfort zone, this muscle memory, that past self is shady, maybe like the shadow energy, but I know it, right? And so it's very hard to part ways, but we don't have to look at our past self, throw shade at our past self, or look at it like an ominous thing, because it's actually in a way of saying, like, namaste. Thank you for playing your role so well, at ease, with love, right? So there's a lot of energy there we can embrace as well. Ooh, let me see what Kendra's saying, because, oh, good, it let me. I've always said, through being a nanny, a mother, and an auntie, terrible 2s, thrashing 3s, FU 4s, ferocious 5s, sassy 6s. I love it. Yes. It goes on from there, though, girl. It does go on from there. I can report on up to 17 so far. Oh, your Scorpio sun won't be any more extra. No, I know. I have a Scorpio as well, and she is 17, and she is a Scorpio. I love her, and she's fierce for sure. But yeah, it's real. Or the troubling 12s. Yes. Each stage is different and a learning curve, and it has its blessings as well, right? And so Yes, that's again, that is also a whole nother live that we can just talk about all those stages and places, especially from a parental perspective or from witnessing someone else going through those stages. Again, the duckling energy is really coming in here. So anyone that we interact with that is in a different place than we once were. 6 little ducks that I once knew. all the different stages and places along the way, for sure. So suffice it to say, we have a lot of energy going on this week, but don't forget that the best advice here and here started it all, the energy of surrender. Kendra, this is our Beltane Oracle message. It's beautiful. I'm going to post a picture of it with the interpretation from the book. It's really beautiful, very spot on as a how-to best practice for navigating eclipse season, for navigating the 3 major stages, through navigating all of it, right? Surrender and rest and receive. Rest and receive, surrender as being key points for us to engage in as we navigate these choppy waters, right? And knowing that there is absolutely power and strength in unity. And so that is where we are invited to really connect in meaningful ways to support each other where we can, when we can, even if it is just making each other laugh with some good ones. I don't want to miss Terminal 10s. Send them to, wait, does that say 7? Send them to Heaven 11? Does it get better in the 20s? I mean, I've always been told that you know nothing. When your kids are in their teens, you know nothing. You're stupid. It's your first rodeo. They know everything. You don't get it. And then they come around to a place where they start to understand, Mom, everything you said was right and true. Oh, Auntie. Yes, you've had your hands full, Kendra. That's a lot. Oh, wow. Yeah. The struggle can be real. Rest and receive. Let yourself rest and surrender. Okay, let's dive into these cards, guys. Thank you for hanging with me and then listening to all the mushy smushy. Appreciating you guys. I taught you that. You learned everything from me, literally. I'm your actual teacher. Oh, good. And Sandy, I think you're still here. So, technical difficulties be damned. You're still here. We're going to feel into the first personal card pull from the Walking Meditation Tarot. Let's see what's coming in for Sandy. Message for you. You know, I think that too, Kat. I try to get some perspective on what could someone have told me then that would have given me the gift of that awareness maybe a little bit more. I think in some ways, we talked about this tonight. It came up about everyone having to learn on their own path and have their own experiences and take their own journey. And we're really just shepherding them through that, poking and prodding them along sometimes, but absolutely. Ooh, Rob, good. I'm so excited you're tuning into your meditation and your cord cutting. Let me see. Yep. You've been dropping some sandbags down like, you know, hopefully it didn't clunk anybody in the head with some of those. I can't wait to hear your thoughts about it. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. I really love that visualization. So beautiful. And I have so much to share with you for part 2. Oh, yeah. So, Kendra, have you uttered this passive-aggressive comment yet? Because I hear this a lot when people come to my house. Now, I don't think you know what I mean. When someone says, like, for example, my kids, they might, like, do something like jump on a couch or something. My mother might say, oh, no, you might get to do that at your house, but we don't do that here. So when you're coming in with a new sheriff in town and we're laying the smack down, you know, there's a lot of different ways on the scale of passivity and aggression for us to express. There's a new sheriff in town and a new set of rules happening up in here, but without the passive aggressive, because the point is she says that in front of me. It's like, actually, we don't jump on the couch at our house either most of the time, but but I know exactly what that means when there's a different approach, and you're adjusting and setting the tone for what happens here at Mama Duck's house. Yes, got it. Robert, you're being strategic with the launching of your sandbags. All right. Okay, Sandy, hold, let me spray. We're going to get grounded here as Robert's throwing sandbags to the ground. Just want to come back in here and tune in for Sandy. Message for you. What is coming up for Sandy? Card for Sandy. Ooh, beautiful. You've got the 10 of Cups. So the 10 of Cups is a beautiful card coming in that has to do with sometimes traditionally like the happy family or the happy connections of on the other end of the rainbow, this abundance of blessings, all 10 of these cups. And this is really looking like a new sunrise for me, like something new on the horizon. Coming in here, there's an abundance of emotion for sure. So 10 cups is a lot of cups. There's a lot of emotion. Could be any of the spectrum of emotions, but generally it's a very joyful card and one that celebrates abundance. Let me see what else is on the card. So we have this beautiful sky scene with the sunrise energy coming in. So it feels like it's just standing out to me that all these cups are together right there. Like you can have a lot of things happening right now, a lot of things passing between the cups. And so being in flow is going to be the best guidance for you to stay in flow, right? And the state of surrender, because that's keeping us flexible. It's keeping us fluid. That's been another key word I've been hearing a lot coming up: fluidity, flexibility, allowing all of it to flow. And that when we do that, we find that, again, there might be a lot going on. Our cups might be very full or even running over, and yet we're navigating and moving through it with greater ease. So that too comes into play, but it does feel like some new energy coming in for you. So whether that is, depending on how these cups are feeling for you, there's a happy, joyful vibe. But if there's any source of a lot, overwhelm, or just abundance of looking for getting it all done and figuring it all out, it feels like all of that is going to be made clear. This week is going to be very revealing, I think, on a lot of things that people have been waiting to get clarity on and so forth. I think at the end of this week, there's a lot of light being shown on those things for sure. So I'm feeling that energy coming in for you with these 10 cups, and that I just love that color. Focus on that beautiful color energy. It feels very soothing and relaxing. And again, as you tune into remember I said when you just like lay down and look up at the sky and feeling into this energy, and this one just feels really warm and hopeful, and again, new things coming in for you in an abundant way. So that's what we have coming in for you with that 10 of Cups. You're welcome. Thank you for hanging in there through your technical glitches. Okay. Let's see. We've got Kelly coming in here next. Okay, Kelly, let's see what we've got coming up for you. Sandy, have a great week yourself. Kelly, what is coming up for you? Card for Kelly. Ooh, okay. Continuing the conversation of that balance. 2 of Pentacles. Look at that gorgeousness. Dani'el lives in Canada, so I wonder how many of her pictures are from that area, or, oh my goodness, my daughter's texting me from downstairs. We have butterflies here right now. I got them one of those kits, and we've been hatching butterflies, and she just texted me that one of the butterflies escaped. Oh boy, she says, help the butterfly. Hopefully she tells her father, equally capable of catching a butterfly. Am I right? Oh, I hope she saves it. Like he's literally down there. And I'm getting texted. It's good to feel needed, right? Kelly, do you relate to any of that energy? Oh my gosh. Okay, stop the presses. She's 7. She just wrote, I can hear you Daddy isn't helping. Talk about sassy 6. What's the name for 7? She says, I can hear you. She just called me out. She just said I'm not sassy. She's my other redhead. Scorpio redhead 17. Sassy 7-year-old redhead. Taking me for all I got left on the other end. She's still telling me, you're not sassy. I love you. You are sassy, but it's a good sassy. Serious 7s. Oof. She just said thank you. I think she might be like pressed up against the door. She'll have to join me one of these lives. Oh, Kendra, I think her and Mirandy could really make some trouble together. Okay, Elena Joy. Kelly, 2 of Pentacles is balancing all the things, right? It's like having all these things going on that we're juggling and trying to find that balance. So, I love this, again, open clearing here. The waters are calm. So I think it's a good time for, if there is some adjustments needed, talking about how we're growing and calibrating and balancing those scales, it's a good time to, really come into settling into finding some of that balance and to really pulling in some of that. And again, this can be like our the things that we have to do, our responsibilities and obligations with the things that we would wish to be doing, or more of a spiritual or grounded, practices and things for us, our self-care, we could say. So there's an energy here of an opportunity to bring in some balance to those 2 aspects, but knowing that it's always a fluctuation of ups and downs, and that those scales are going to vary. And again, the contrast is what lets us know if something's feeling very heavy, if something's feeling out of balance. That's the squeaky wheel that gets our attention, that like, this isn't working. Something's got to give. I need help, or I need to realign some things and move some things around. And so it feels like there's sort of, and I love the stepping stone energy of just, again, moving through, retire and forage. That sounds amazing. Okay. If you're hearing that, then feel into that energy. I love it. That looks like a beautiful place to start too. So yeah, okay. What do you feel? What are you hearing? Feel into that, right? Balancing those scales and figuring out what you want to put your energy into. So I think that's a starting point there for you to take this walk into feeling into where in your life there's an opportunity to bring some more balance and how to best align those scales. So yes, it sounds like balance. Haha, pun intended, right? I love it. You are welcome. Oh my gosh, all I'm doing right now is thinking that there's an orphan butterfly flapping around downstairs in the kitchen and no one's taking care of it. Poor thing. Oh, all right, Savannah. Let's see what's coming up for you. Oh my gosh. Never a dull moment. What is coming up for Savannah? Let's see. Okay. Oh, it's the Hanged Man. Now, it was reversed. I might have picked the deck up upside down. I don't go crazy with reversals. I just kind of feel into the context of what we're feeling into. But the Hanged Man is one of those major arcana cards. So that's like significant energy, this archetype of stuckness, of a pause, and usually one that we didn't initiate. So a forced pause. And so that can come in the form of delays or holdups or things not coming through. Isn't it so beautiful, Erin? I know it really, and I just love how it looks like it's a photo, but it's a watercolor, and it really allows you to open up into interpreting things in a totally different way, because it's like, I'm stuck here in this clearing because I am having an opportunity to go over something, because that's one of the traditional meanings, is like, while we're stuck in this, maybe like it almost looks like a cul-de-sac, or a place where we're just kind of circling this area, the greatest ahas and awarenesses can come in, right? In the clearing, in the pause, in the stuckness is where sometimes we can have the greatest revelations come in. And so sometimes that does speak to things that aren't going the way that we thought they would. We'd like them to go. If there's something that's a little stuck right now, or just not coming very easily or clearly, it's sort of like, just pause here on the path and take it in here in this clearing, to be able to glean awareness. Because it's funny, now that I look at this from a different angle, now I can see the path continues on the other side. From a distance, from this vantage point, maybe from hanging upside down, it looks like a dead end. It looks like a cul-de-sac, but maybe you guys already saw this. I did not see that the path goes on. I couldn't see past this tree. I couldn't see the forest for the trees. And so that's Hanged Man. That's beautiful. I love it. Genius. So if there's something that you're feeling a little stuck on or unclear on, again, we tune into resting and receiving, of getting grounded and clearing, maybe going for a walk in nature, and just allowing whatever comes in to really bring in the inspiration or the awareness that you've been seeking. You know, it is sometimes through those forced pauses and delays and holdups that maybe sometimes the best awarenesses do come in. So I'm feeling that with that path being illuminated for you through the stuckness. So I hope that resonates for you. Let me see, am I picking it up upside down? Yeah, I might have been. Yeah, orphan butterfly. All right, Chloe is next. Let's see what is coming up for you, Chloe. Now they're all going to get the idea. One butterfly busted out. All right, Chloe, what is coming up for you? Ooh, I felt that one. Let's see. Card for Chloe. Ooh, Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. A lot of cups so far. We're getting like a lot of, I'm feeling that cups energy, the water, the flow, emotion, but aces are new beginnings. Aces are messages and offerings of. So there's something coming in here in the way of an offering or something new that is heart-centered, that's focusing on, again, that flow, clarity, cleansing, you know, things coming in that could really be creating new pathways for you. I want to look in the book on this one. I love, again, the colors of the sky giving me sunrise. So it's feeling like new beginnings, new dawns, you know, new things coming in on the other side of what we're releasing and letting go of with the full moon. And in the eclipse energy. Yeah, it's not happening. This font's really small for me. Ace of Cups, new feelings. Yes, okay, love, heart-centered energy, new feelings, abundant feelings, joy, happiness, and love emanating from your inner being with an awakening of senses and spiritual awareness. And it's talking about, you know, the fact that you know that you can tap into being connected to your subconscious and intuition, feeling deeply connected to the outside realms and energy from source, but also very connected within. So there's this reciprocal, again, energy of the flow, of a flow of energy there. So it does speak to new love, friendships, relationships, and projects opening up for you. I mean, Ace of Cups is all of those water elemental things. Love, relationships and friendships, partnerships and business of all kinds coming in, flowing in, new projects, new energies coming in like on the horizon. So that is a message coming in for you. Again, feeling like coming through this week, facts, okay, we'll take it. Beautiful, take that sign. Love it. Okay, so that's resonating for you. It does, again, this is a very transformative time, and that is clearing the way to bring in the new. So that's beautiful. Awesome. Love to hear that. Take you some Ace of Cups anytime you can. Beautiful. Okay, Alyssa is next. Let's see what is coming up for you, lady. See what you've got coming in here. Ooh, Empress energy. This is the Empress coming in. Wow. So, Earth Mama, this is birthing the new, right? But right away, okay, I'm getting gestating, right? Because you're preparing to birth a big move in your life. And that is not without its labor pains. It is not without its contractions, right? And I'm also getting like the nesting. So like the need to kind of, get all of your ducks in a row in your pond there, all the little ducklings and getting it all together. But there's a beautiful energy here. Wow. I love the reflection coming into the water. And just Empress energy is full of abundance and fertility. It is Beltane energy as well. So abundance and fertility, the Empress, the Earth Mother. So that is so beautiful. It really feels like just knowing, the energy that you are in right now. I can totally feel that. And it's about, again, surrender says, this thing is happening, right? I'm going on this trip. I'm making this move. I'm birthing this new life. How am I going to experience it? And getting together your birth plan for how you're going to approach all of the changes and transformations that are happening. Robert, is that you in the pond floating around? I love it. Yes, it's you in the card. I totally see it. That's great. But yeah, I love that for you because it's a frame of reference, right? We already know what's going on for you. That ought to give you some levity if you see Rob floating around in there. And oh, that's great. In his little inner tube, kicking his feet, moving around, sipping on something. I don't know. So I feel like this is about a perspective of the garden that you are, I love to think about the Empress in her garden and focusing on clearing out all the things that cannot stay, right? We're not feeding the weeds, and then tending to and nurturing the things that we are growing. And so really focusing on that as like your birth plan and that birthing process, and knowing that you're going to have the contractions and the aches and the pains and the things that come with moving, especially to the extent. But also, what does the Empress say? And this is Taurus energy as well, is about the earth energy of having the abundance that you need to do the thing you will have. This is a very beautiful card for abundance, for having all the things you need for this birth what you are birthing. So I love that for you. That's a beautiful energy to connect into as you move through, because I know and can only imagine, I've never made a move that big, but I just know from moving what all of an undertaking that is. So really tuning into that Empress energy for yourself, for sure. I love that. Okay, Chastity. Let's see. It's almost like these cards could be like, where's Waldo? Where's Robert in these cards? Since we know they all take place in nature. You're welcome, Alyssa. We have a new idea for these cards. Find where we put Rob on each of them with his little memojis. Let's see. He's like, oh boy, it's on. Challenge accepted. He's got the finger on the trigger for his emojis. You know what's funny? So the other deck is the rune deck, and you were my man on that deck. So Dani'el's other deck was the Odin's tarot, the tarot deck, where you would spot the runes in every deck and boop, 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 and pull it up and tell me what it was. All right, what do we have coming up here for Chastity? Ooh, girl, you got the Chariot. I love it. Wow, look at that. The Chariot. This is the year of the Chariot. It's a 7-year, right? We keep talking about being in the driver's seat. We keep talking about preparing our vehicle for a trip, a journey, making sure that the tires are balanced and the oil's changed and all the things before we go peeling out, right? Well, what I love is that this horse is resting, taking a pause, actually grazing a little bit there. So again, it feels tied into this energy of, you know, knowing that, you know, you have a lot going on, you have a lot of things popping, and sometimes it can be hard to make space, create space for that, to allow yourself to refuel. But there's just an invitation here to like, just, stroll the pasture a little bit, you know, and know that all of this is still going to be there, because the water element is, again, feelings and emotions. And so there's a lot, but you're up here from a higher perspective. So it's like, I feel like, I also feel like there's a sense of like strong strength, like a strong back about things, because the horse is able to hold a lot of that, the horsepower, you know, like that kind of strength, to know that like your back is turned to all that. So you're not really, this is kind of like King of Cups style as well, not letting yourself get bogged down and overwhelmed and overloaded with emotion, or drowning in it, you know, because you're on higher ground. And so just, you know, if you're not already doing this, and maybe you have been trying to be a little bit more conscientious of like taking time out for yourself and just strolling in the pasture, or else it's a nice nudge for you to embrace that too. Like knowing that there is a lot of action and things happening right now, but this is sort of, again, like that calm before the storm as an opportunity for you to, take some time for you, you know, and refuel so that you are prepared for the next leg, you know. So I'm feeling that energy too. And a little bit of a nod to the 7th. So May 7th, like this, like again, on the other side of this 5/5 portal, I'm feeling too, like some motion and activity, but for now you're grazing in the fields, right? So that's what I'm feeling there for you with the Chariot. It's a beautiful card. I love the colors. Really beautiful. Okay, Nicole, let's see what's coming up for you. Card for Nicole. What is coming up here for you, lady? Rob, get off the horse. There he is. He's got his sleep roll, and he's got his walking stick. He's going to try and steal your horse. He's an alien. That's great. Oh, Nicole. Ooh, lady, you got the Empress too. So there's this energy coming in of birthing the new, and also going through the stages of labor, right? And so in different stages of this process that it takes as you're building and expanding your garden. And so I feel that energy coming in for you, but I want to look in the book and see what's coming up in here. All right, Alyssa, good night to you. Yes, get some sleep. Ooh, a zoo trip. Have fun. Enjoy. Enjoy. Thank you for being here. Let's see what we have with your Empress, Nicole. Okay, so this is speaking to there being nothing more beautiful than when Gaia changes the colors of her leaves in autumn. Her transition takes about 6 weeks, but it is the most beautiful natural event that I've ever been given the gift of seeing. The weather changes to the perfect temperature. The animals scurry to fill up their homes with food for the winter. There is even a distinct smell of the earth as she changes her form to make way for the new that will come once again. The trees give birth to their seeds as acorns fall and leaves fall to the ground and fertilize the earth's floor. Mother Earth is in her glory at this time of year. So this is saying, and what I feel, this is what I think speaks to you, is being that you have so consciously been earthing and been connecting in with the earth, and that is something that I know has been in your orbit very intentionally. This is saying nature and the world around you are providing you with the answers. The energy of the trees, the animals, insects, and flowers all has a message for you. As you grow in tune with the holographic world around you, more abundance and creativity flow to and around you. You are able to see more clearly. The Empress is the mother figure of the deck, so it's asking you to get in tune with your feminine side and take care of your babies/projects, it says in quotes. So taking care of all your babies, all your seedlings, all the things that you're birthing and tending to them. So there's this energy of probably validation for you that I'm sure you're already very in tune with, is how nature is speaking to you, how all of those signs and symbols are coming up, weaving together those spiritual breadcrumbs, guiding you in that direction for everything that you're bringing in to your life, and finding tools that help you to connect, looking to the cycles and seasons to help move you deeper into who you are on a soul level. So I feel like that's really just is all coming full circle for you with the seasons and guiding you through. It is a time, again, Beltane, fertility, abundance coming in, and being definitely very attuned into nature and connecting in that way. So that's what's coming in there for you as you continue to move through this birthing process. So beautiful. Love that. We got double creativity and divine feminine energy there. Awesome. Okay. Brandy, let's see what's coming up for you. You're welcome, Nicole. Let's see what's coming up for you, Brandy. Ace of Cups again. All right, let me see if I can get a clarifying card for that. So because we know, we talked about the Ace of Cups coming in as a message of love, friendship, partnership, of abundance coming in for you in the water element. So what's the clarifying energy? Oh, there it is for Brandy. Ooh, the High Priestess. Wow, look at that, you guys. That is gorgeous. So, like the Empress, card 3 of the Major Arcana, this is card 2. This is the energy of your higher self. This is your intuition. This is your wise feminine energy coming in here. And I love how, just like the traditional features the pillars and the balance of being really connected in with that wise part of yourself, that even feels like the relationship that's coming in, the connection that's coming in for you, is about you getting more and more aligned with the highest version of you, you know, with your wise self, with maybe trusting, leaning into a little more your own intuition, your own hunches, your own intuitive feelings, rather than perhaps things happening externally outside of you. I'm even getting that with the island out here. This actually reminds me of a place that we vacation in the Outer Banks in North Carolina. And there's this awesome little waterway that I love to kayak. That's like my favorite thing to do when I can, and it's not often, but that's like my week that I get to go out on my own, and it's just quiet and still and beautiful, and it looks a lot like this. And so it's reminding me of being surrounded by water, which is emotion, flow, you know, all the things happening around you, but really standing strong and tall and firm there as an island, but no man is an island. We see, or woman is an island, because we see the reflection in here. So everything that's coming up, everything that's reflecting back to us in the form of feelings, in the energy and flow of heart chakra energy, because that's the cups in the water, all around us, is again reflecting back to us for us. What is it showing us? And so now you're perceiving those things, have an opportunity to perceive those things through the lens of your higher self, your wise self, who's going to, very much like the King of Cups energy, hold that place of unemotional or balanced emotion, and really being in tune with how you feel, not just analyzing things, or really being in a place of not honoring your most authentic self for others, right? So there's this really powerful energy coming in here for you to really stand your ground, to really tune in with that higher self, and recognize that it's all reflecting back to you for you. And that also when you stand in this energy, you're reflecting and emanating that for others as well, because that's the whole energy of the King of Cups with the ducklings, and emanating that energy of unconditional love and compassion, of demonstrating a way. And that's something you can actually do without even saying a word. You just be there and be the island and just allow yourself to shine no matter what's going on around you. And that's the energy that I see coming in here for you with these two cards. So I hope that resonates for you. But we're seeing a lot of that synchronicity and flow coming up with everyone's energy for sure. 78 cards, and we've already had 2 cards come up the same. So there's a reason we're all here on these frequencies. Okay, Erin, let's see what's coming up for you, lady. A new beautiful card for you. What is coming up here for Erin? Ooh, 4 of Wands. Check that out. You got the whole pastor out there. So the 4 of Wands is that card of structure and stability and home. And we've talked about this card before because it also is a card of celebration and gathering and coming together, usually in and around homes, or celebrating milestones like birthdays or graduations or celebrations of some kind, even like Mother's Day, things that are coming up on the horizon that can have to do with gathering and celebrating. But I love this energy of the 4. It kind of looks like a picket fence or some kind of a border or energy around, but it's just, but it's not restrictive. It doesn't feel like it's holding you back or blocking you necessarily, because there's this beautiful landscape out there that you can see. So maybe some of these like posts that you're putting into place in your life, the wands, remembering that the wands are fire elements. So that's like our sparks, our passion, our creativity, our work, right? And balancing all of that. Oh, yay! Graduating 8th grade. So you're going to be traveling 5 hours to go to that. Wow, that's awesome. Enjoy. Yeah, this is definitely the season, right? Grads, dads, and all the things. So yeah, you'll be getting together with all your peeps and celebrating. That's beautiful. So there's that energy coming through for sure. And so I feel like these things like guideposts or energies that you've been very consciously building in your life, opening and creating space for these things, you know, and having greater balance and flow in your life and bringing that in as well. So I really feel that. I want to see, I'm curious if she mentions the horses in this card, if she has a reference to anything about the horses. I did not look it up in the chariot, but I want to see if she has it in here. We want the, there we go, 4 of Wands. New growth brings peace and tranquility. And it's another one of those cards that always does speak to, you know, altering our perspectives and adjusting our perspectives in order to see through a different lens. So I'm just looking to see if there's anything in here about the horse. No, I don't see anything. I just wanted to see if she had anything to add there because it's catching my eye. It's so beautiful. But definitely speaking to the expansion in your life and how that is enabling you to, oh, good. Let me see. Horses resonate for you for sure because your family has always had horses. Beautiful. So you're making the 5-hour journey to gather with family and celebrate. So that's what matters right there. Is that's perfect. This, you didn't need me to look up because you have your own affiliation with the horses and what that means for you with your people. So that's beautiful. Enjoy that time of gathering, of traveling, and being together. So that's really beautiful. The 4 is a great energy. Structure, stability, for sure. Okay, Debbie is next. Okay, let's see what is coming up for you, Debbie. Something just flipped over in my face. Oh, a couple of cards did. Smooth those out and ask for 1 card for Debbie. What is coming up for you? Ooh, all right. Talk about stepping stones, girl. These boots are made for walking. This is the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups is what? Moving on, right? The Eight of Cups is walking on, walking away, walking forward from cups that no longer serve, right? But cups that have played a role nonetheless. So this kind of brings us into a lot of the energy that was coming in earlier about the stepping stones, about the things along the way, and even the mistakes, the good, the bad, the ugly, all the things that have actually culminated into where I stand today. And moving through, there you go. I thought you might like that one. And I love the energy of the walk because it really is something that is a physical expression that can be very symbolic. And I know you like those. You've always been good with actually trying some of the, I'm going to take a look at the walking meditations and see, because that's perfect for some type of an intentional walk that has to do with embracing this energy of moving on, moving forward, onwards and upwards. Let me see what's in the horizon. Yeah, you know, and you're not like hightailing it out of there like crazy. It's just like, yep, okay, yep, 1, 2, 3, keep going, keep moving, keep stepping, one step at a time as you move forward. Maybe stop and smell the wildflowers as you go, and enjoy the journey, right? But just recognize that there are some things that are coming up to look at in the full moon energy and the eclipse energy. Hey, Gemma, welcome. Thanks for coming in. We're just doing personal card pulls. If you'd like one, feel free to say so. We'll get you on the list. And we have the replay for, oh my gosh, look at these cards. They're a mess. I'm like banging everything around. And you can always check out the week ahead messages as well. So we have this energy of things that have served their purpose, things that have, you know, no longer suit, that you have an opportunity to move on from. So reflecting upon what those things might be ahead of the full moon. Maybe an opportunity for an intentional walk, you know, one that you can bring some visualization into this act of actually stepping away and walking away and allowing those cups to go, you know, into the distance, into your rearview mirror, one foot in front of the other. I love that. Yeah. So definitely some walking about for sure. Perfect for full moon. Okay. Sharon is next. Miss Sharon is catching the replay. So this will be here for her when she can. Let's see what is coming up for you, Miss Sharon. You're welcome, Debbie. What's coming up for Miss Sharon? Ooh, you got the Chariot too. So I'm going to pull a clarifying card for you, because this is that card of sort of being in the pasture. Rob's coming in with his hiking gear of movement. So let's ask for a clarifying card for Miss Sharon on the Chariot. What's moving and shaking for Miss Sharon? What's the message around the Chariot? Okay, so you have the Six of Cups, and that is actually a beautiful card of reflection, of remembrance, of looking back into the past. And oftentimes it is into childhood or nostalgia for simpler times. A lot of times that can be the reference. I'm just going to take this in again, seeing these for the first time. I love the way the cups are splayed out on these cards, because it's totally giving me, you know, what my intention was here is these stepping stones, you know. And again, the key words as we reflect on what's coming up for you in these memorable cups, in this reflection, as you pause movement, you know, there's a lull in the movement here as you're sort of taking it all in. That some of the key words again here are faith, hope, peace, love, and gratitude. So it's like, and believe, actually. I have believe in here too, which I love that for the 7 energy, because it's a very mystical, I know it's backwards anyway, but it says believe. Like a mystical, high vibrational number. And so again, we can see how the things from the past the things that might be bubbling up, the things that might be coming around again in this energy that we're in right now, how they all served a purpose for laying the groundwork, for laying those stepping stones that have brought us to where we are now. Strong, powerful, and ready to move, ready to rock, right? But just taking a pause here in this moment to allow yourself to reflect upon whatever's coming up through the lens of, what is this coming up to show me? Thank you for playing your role so well, right? We talked about that earlier in so much as recognizing that all of the things, the players and all of the aspects that have come upon our path were all coming up to serve us in some way, whether it's bringing up a likeness and a reflection of familiar energy or one of contrast, in order to create the strength and the beauty and wisdom that you possess today, as the strong woman of power behind the steering wheel of your own chariot. So I feel that energy, sort of just recognizing that anything that's washing back up or coming around again, that's definitely very on point for the energies that we're in right now in retrograde and in Chiron and all the energies that have been playing up, Chiron being the wounded healer. So showing us again that these wounds and things that come up are all a part of how the light gets in, right? The wound is where the light enters us, Rumi. The idea that the cracks and all of the things that have come up and come to pass have all contributed to where we are today. So that's the energy we have coming in for you, with yet another double coming in here for this energy that we are all in. So beautiful. Okay. How are we? Ginger. Let's see what's coming up for you, Ginger. What is coming in here for Ginger? Ooh, the Magician. I love it. Beautiful. So the Magician, number one of the major arcana, is the one that tells us you have all the tools you need to make your magic, that you just need to have a willingness to use them, right? To practice with them, to hone your craft. Let me take a look at this. Yeah, so she's got them all in here. Traditionally, the Magician is the one card of the tarot that shows all four suits. So there's your cups, your wands, your pentacle, and your sword. So it's all in you. You've got it all, right? You're every woman. You have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So you have every element, every aspect is in you. And so what does that do? It opens up, the possibilities are endless. The sky's the limit. And so the Magician encourages us to pick up those tools. Maybe they're even things that have laid dormant for you. Some things that you forgot you had, or that used to bring you joy, or something that you always wanted to learn how to work with, and just for whatever reason never did, or set it down, and you can, blow the dust off of it and pull something out that, you were like, yeah, that's right. I have that, or I used to really enjoy that, or there's something that you can rediscover is what I'm feeling. And so it's like, again, in this retrograde energy of things coming around again, what might that show us? What might that highlight for us? Being that we have tools and resources and passions and gifts that maybe we haven't picked up in a long time, that are sort of washing up now, to take a look at and to be able to practice and hone. And the key is, where we started tonight was about the mistakes, with recognizing that mistakes are just information gathering. So it's like, if I put myself out there and I try, and I always say this, Houdini didn't just step out there wowing everyone with sleight of hand. How many times, what kind of practice does it take for a magician to master their craft, right? So it's having that willingness to make mistakes, recognizing that all they are is information gathering, what worked and what didn't. So if there's something that you set down because it didn't work before, and you're feeling a pull about rediscovering or taking a look at it, or even if it's just coming around again into your awareness, that could be an indication that it's something for you to take a deeper look at, of like trying it out again, of allowing it to come up and maybe now with fresh eyes or with what you know now, try something. So there's an element of using all of the resources and tools that you have and just playing with them and having fun and allowing the magic to unfold. So that's what I have coming up for you. This is a gorgeous card, the Magician, and it's a beautiful energy. Again, ones are new beginnings, setting out. So all this energy is really ramping up to this eclipse is really clearing away everything that's been in the way for us to really step into something or to expand into something. So again, feeling it on the other side of this eclipse for sure, for you as well. The Magician energy, beautiful. It is, it's a really pretty card. I'm really enjoying this deck, it's so beautiful. Okay, Sarah, let's see what we have coming up for you. Card for Sarah. What's coming up for Sarah? There we go. Okay, ooh, that's pretty too. You have the Death energy coming in. So this is the most beautiful Death card I've ever seen. Major Arcana card 13. This is the card of transformation and change. Oh, Ginger, I'm so glad that resonated for you. This is a card of transformation and change. And look how beautifully it's depicted by the fall of those autumn leaves being in that state of transformation, which we know that after they peak at this beautiful place, they then wither and fall away and they release in order for the trees to rebirth themselves. So it's also a nod to matchy with my nails, a nod to this energy of being present with the seasons that we're in, and allowing. So if you were here in the beginning and you heard the message of the Surrender card, and I love the colors coming in here. I'm loving this energy of the orange, the flame colors, and the yellows, because that's like fire energy for me, of like burning away and transmuting old stuff that is ready to clear to create space. And feeling the connection to this card had me tuning into stuff that we're carrying, stuff that we've been picking up from our environment and from others, and also just being very sensitive to others. Many of us who are empathic or highly sensitive can pick up energy that we don't even realize we're carrying just by simply being in a room or being in public, for sure, in crowded places, or being in situations where there could be some things that you're ready to shed and release that you're carrying that might not even be yours. See all this buzzing around, all this activity. It's like all my butterflies that are out, my orphaned butterflies that are downstairs right now. But no, it just feels like there might be some stuff that you're carrying, right, that is ready to be released, to be shed, to be sloughed off, you know, that this is a perfect time to embrace that. This is the card of Scorpio, by the way, too. So there's this is a Scorpio full moon, lunar eclipse happening on Friday. So this is a perfect time, again, in your walk, as you walk about your week, as you walk through your day-to-day, being intentional about how the steps that you're taking, and really focusing on really what might I be carrying that isn't even mine, or that's no longer serving me, that I can visualize releasing, just like the leaves release. And you can use breath too, because you know how I'm getting this visual of like in the fall, depending on where you live. I have the 4 seasons here, kind of. It's not really like that anymore, but we do have a fall period where there's that day where like the wind comes along, just like the pollen, that all the leaves start to really get pulled off the trees by the wind, and the wind serves its role. So I have this visual of like, again, using your breath. When I started in the beginning, we talked about getting grounded by imagining like straws coming from your feet, and using your breath to release and blow out anything that you're letting go, and then using your breath in to pull up all of the good high vibrational energy from the earth to revive your spirit and really invigorate you. So I'm feeling this energy here of coming in with you with surrender, release, knowing that it creates space for the new to come in. So that's what we have coming up for you with the death energy, which again is perfect. I don't repeat this every time because I know we've heard it. It's never anything to fear. The death card is talking about transformation and change, and this is a perfect card for an eclipse full moon week for sure. So there you have it. Okay, Katie is next. Let's see what is coming up for you. Card for Katie. There you go, Sarah. Thank you. What's coming up here for Katie? You had to be special. There's a couple special cards in this deck, and this is one of them. This is called Moon Dog. You are special. Moon Dog. So I'm going to feel into this because it's looking a little bit like unclear, right? We can't quite tell. I see it's still shining in there, but what is that about? And I know that the Moon Dog is this ring, right? This ring that we see. And is that considered like a rainbow around the moon? Is that what the Moon Dog is, I believe? Let's see what she's got in here for the special cards. I actually saw that when I was flipping through here. It said extra cards. Sun Dog and Moon Dog. Those are the two, right? Yeah, I think so. Ooh, it's a lunar halo. I love that even more. So Sun Dog is a sun halo. Moon Dog is a lunar halo. Usually this halo is only seen in colder seasons, a prediction of rain or snow to come soon. It is said that in ancient folklore that when you are able to see a halo around the moon, the veil is thin at this time. Be mindful of the negative events that are happening around you. Okay, so I feel like that's tying into this energy, right? So we talked about that as far as being mindful of the energies that are shifting and moving around us, but it feels like from an observer point of view, like you don't necessarily have to pick up a sword and be in that fight. You don't have to have a moon dog in that fight, right? So I feel like, again, if this could be, and I'll pull a clarifying card for you because I don't want that to sound like ominous or foreboding for you. I think it feels very connected to the Five of Swords energy. So if there was anything sticking out for you when we were talking about that energy, and it really had more of a collective world, big stage thing, but the truth is it's all connected anyway. We feel those effects too, right? So all of it is all connected anyway. So let's find out about this moon halo and it potentially forecasting snow or rain, or, some sort of the veil is thin and having some awarenesses come in. What does Katie need to know about the moon dog? It's the Fool. So the Fool is bringing in beginner energy, new beginnings. And look, it's snow. I think of snow as being very purifying and clarifying. So you've been having trouble staying grounded lately. Yeah, and I wonder if it does speak to you about the veil being thin and the idea that you're picking up on things, or things that your energies are kind of being pulled in a direction that is keeping you from really being grounded. Just that you're super sensitive to those energies, and being that there's so much happening at this time, collectively, but certainly everything that's going on for you personally. And those things can make it very difficult to get grounded. And so the Fool energy, stepping out there footloose and fancy free, right? Stepping out there fresh, and it's like there's no footprints yet in that snow. It's like new blank slate energy. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in, right, Katie? You put the sword down and then you're pulled right back into it. So that's tough, because it's victory at what cost? When I pick the sword back up, what is my intention there? What is my hope? By picking that sword back up and stepping back into that ring, am I thinking that there is something that I could do, say, be, miraculously move the sword in a different way than I ever have before, that's going to suddenly break through, and clarity is going to come from the opponent, that they're going to suddenly get it, you know, or whatever the fight du jour is presenting itself. And how many times am I going to do that? Definition of, we know, insanity, right? Every time we keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Observing the role that we play in that and saying, the juice is not worth the squeeze. And even further, embracing these energies of unconditional love and compassion to allow others to have their own growth and learning separate from me. And that I can actually, I'm okay with the idea that they may never get me. They may never understand my side. They might never, that's not fair, right? We can get into a sense of that too, in these fights, but yet I'm setting out on a new path and allowing this energy to be very cleansing and purifying for you, because I love how it's like freshly fallen snow that no one has stepped on yet. So it's all new, and you can choose at any time to set down that sword and blaze a new trail. And again, and again. So again, there's no shame in finding a sword in your hand again, because it happens. And if it happens, there's a reason. It's because there's still something left for you to learn. There's a cycle that's not quite finished. So looking at it from that perspective. Hey, Kristen, welcome. No worries. We're doing personal card pulls. Everybody's been hanging in. We covered a lot tonight, but the replay's here for you. And if you would like a card pull, please feel free to say so. We'll get you on the list. So this is looking like the view from your, oh, that's beautiful. Wow. So feel into that too. Feel into what that brings up for you, and the nature of those swords and childhood window, and what things looked like through that lens versus the lens that you have now, and sort of build on that. But recognizing that at any time you reserve the right to set out on your fool's journey over and over again. Beautiful. Okay, you're welcome. All right, gang, how we doing? Let's see. Thank you guys for hanging in. Kat, it's Kat's turn with her freshly charging phone. Thank you. I can hear it's pouring out again. It's been raining for days. Let's see what's coming up for Kat. If you're just joining, welcome. We're just doing some personal card pulls. Absolutely, Vina. Sure. All right. Kat, this one is for you. You got the Magician too. And I already know you're making magic over there. So what? We already know this. You're over there picking up all the tools, making it work, creating things, making your magic, stepping out into the world. Beautiful. What do you need to know about that? You're doing it, Houdini. Let's see. What do we need to know about the Magician for Kat? Whoo, girl. That's about the best card you could have got. The Nine of Pentacles. Take in all that gorgeousness. So, what happens when I pick up my tools, when I work it, when I make my magic? This is a card of abundance, all the Nine of Pentacles. And what I love about this card is it really reminds me of like the master of her domain, you know, like traditionally this card shows a woman holding a bird of prey on her arm, and she's surrounded by the lush environment that she's created. So it's very much in the home. It's very much about abundance and generosity. So like using all of the tools, which is again what the magicians that, oh, I never put the moon dog back. Sorry. That was the moon dog. Each element, the swords, the pentacles, the wands, and the cups are all there. So you are resourceful, using all of your resources, using all of the things to create abundance in your life and for your family is what this card is showing. So I feel like this is really beautifully capturing that energy that's around you right now. Ginger, good night. Have a great week. Thanks for coming. So if you build it, they will come, right? Make your magic and put it out into the world, and you see the abundance that comes in, and it comes through your generosity and sharing and emanating that energy and using all of your tools, using your resources. So I feel like that's a beautiful look into what comes from stepping out and being brave to make mistakes and use your tools and make your magic and hone your craft. Beautiful abundance. I love that. So it's a card of prosperity. It's Beltane energy, peeps. Abundance, fertility, prosperity, all the things. Beautiful. Okay, how we doing? Deidre, let's see what's coming up for you. What's cooking for you? Card for Deidre. Thanks, Kat. You're welcome. Yeah, these are really beautiful. Makes it easy. Deidre, what do we have coming up for you? Take that one. Oh, what's better than the 9 of Pentacles? The 10 of Pentacles, of course. It's all coming up rainbows. So the 10 of Pentacles is like that card of family, legacy, of abundance in family. So I'm getting like the family tree and building a legacy and building something, which, you know, we say it every week, usually with you, that the Pentacles are the slowest moving suit of the tarot, right? And that's Taurus energy as well. Earth energy is slow, but it's thorough, and it's authentic. It's like you're building something lasting is what I want to say. Like it's as sturdy as an old oak tree, you know? And so it's kind of like, this is a nod to ancestors too. Like there's an energy of what you're bringing forward into your life and what you're building in your life now is calling upon strengths and gifts that you have inherited that come to you through family lines, right? But also that you are playing a very important role in the legacy that you're building for your children and for your family through your creation. And also doing it in a way that shows that you can love what you do and have joy as you do it, and it still be very abundant and prosperous. So that's what I feel like. You're blazing a trail. And again, keeping in mind that whether you feel like that was very strongly emanated for you or not through your family tree and your lineage, the gift is in the contrast. So by having, you know, many of us will say that, you know, especially ancestors we never knew, that we can imagine lived very difficult, hardworking lives that had to do with making ends meet and surviving, and joy wasn't even a word in the vocabulary of doing what you love or finding some alternative way and just working to the bone and just going through the motions to build something, and it being about legacy in a different way. Like, I feel like it's like redefining that. The rainbow is so beautiful because it's like a whole new way to look at legacy. It's like a whole new way to do it. But we always get to ask ourselves, would we have that awareness? Would we have that drive and desire to create that way had we not experienced its opposite or come from a place of contrast that enables us to have the compulsion to do that, right? Having experienced its opposite. So there's something just really full circle, I feel, coming in about that, like ancestral, but overall just beautiful abundance in what you're building in your life and bringing in a lot of joy as well. So that's really beautiful. Gorgeous card. Strong and stable and rooted and grounded is what that energy is for sure. Okay, Janetta, Gemma, Kristen, Vina, Kendra. Okay, Janetta's next. Perfect. Okay, thank you guys. It's coming up here for Janetta. Debbie knows, Mama knows. Ooh, that was beautiful. I think that was the Wheel of Fortune I just saw, Janetta. Let's see what's coming up for you. You're welcome. I know she's wrangling. Let's see. What do we have coming in for Janetta? Ten of Pentacles just winked again. Ooh, now they're all jumping out. The Sun. Sorry, let me just make sure we got everybody in there. Okay. Janetta. Ooh. The King of Swords. Look at that woodpecker, that majestic woodpecker. Wow. Okay, so we talked about the King of Cups tonight. King of Swords is also going to be that mastery energy. Hello, Glenda. Welcome. The mastery energy of the swords. So the swords are the air element of our thoughts, of our ideas, of our beliefs, and all those things happening in the crown, but again, in a very balanced way. And what a beautiful, striking card. Birch trees and woodpeckers, right? And we have the snow scene again. So woodpeckers, I'm definitely getting like a sensory thing because of the sound and the energy of a woodpeckers, but I want to look and see because I think she's going to reference that in here, and I'd like to see exactly what these symbols are pointing to. Beautiful card. Glenda, we're doing personal card pulls, so if you would like one, feel free to say so, and we'll get you on the list. We're working through the last few that we have, and prior to that, we did some week ahead messages that we'll be posting for the replay tomorrow that you can catch as well. King of Swords. So I want to go right to the spiritual meaning of the woodpecker, because that's what I'm feeling. Seeing a woodpecker can come as a surprise. You can hear them before you see them. And once you do, you cannot keep your eyes off of them. So with their incredibly strong beak, they peck, peck, peck into the tree for food. But first, they listen very intently into the tree. They have a tongue that is 4 inches long, and they're hard workers, and they do not give up. So where in your life can you create more strength and perseverance? Make sure that you know what you want. Make a plan and then go for it. Do not give up. Use your words and communicate what you need. So yeah, definitely, again, the senses, I was thinking like how you hear a woodpecker, but that's a good point. You hear the woodpecker often before you see them, if ever. But important to note that in the pause, you know, you hear that peck, 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 pause, peck, 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 pause, you know, especially if it's like while you're still sleeping. They're listening. So it's important to be a strong communicator, to speak your truth, right? But also important to be a good listener and communicator. So the King of Swords, of course, the King of Swords has that balance. So this energy is coming in around you to show perhaps a role that you play as someone who emanates that energy of being direct and speaking your truth and being able to communicate clearly, but also being a good listener. Also being in tune to your senses is what the King of Swords would emanate. And, you know, whether that's feeling, if that's ringing true for you, or if it's something that is like, I don't speak my truth and I don't speak up, then there's an energy of an opportunity to see how that could be knocking or pecking for you. Good night, Debbie. But it is with objectivity and logic. So the King of Swords does not, very much like our Mallard Duck, and wrong one, Mallard Duck energy for our midweek blessing of emanating that unconditional love and compassion, right? And holding that place of just being able to, oh, you do speak the truth. Okay, I thought so, but I didn't want to, but I felt like, yes, like you speak the truth, you're direct, you communicate, but you also listen. Because there's that energy of people who are already thinking about their response before, like they're not actually listening, right? And so I wasn't feeling that for you at all. I'm saying like it's important and definitely a strength of yours to be able to model that for others and to do so just with a cool hand. So, you know, you're again emanating a way to be to others who are learning, who may not, you know, the ducklings, right? We talked about that in the beginning. So I feel like there's this energy of objectivity and logic, leading with confidence and strength, a clear and articulate communicator. You are not swayed by inner distractions, impulse, or untruths. You stand in your power as an authority figure, led by the clarity that you hold within. So again, that's important, like internally listening to those cues to decide when it's necessary to peck, 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 and when we're in the pause, right? And communicating, watching those cues and being really in tune. So I feel like that's picking up on that. And, oh, that's great. So it's so important because it makes you a better communicator. You always listening makes you a better communicator because, again, 5 of Swords, victory, but at what cost? If somebody's just popping off, swinging their sword around, using their swords, their voice to just say whatever, verbal diarrhea, whatever, grandstanding, whatever, what is that doing, right? Because if you're not listening and knowing your audience and being in tune, then it's a waste of your own breath. So that's beautiful. That's a beautiful gift. And it might be showing that, as you navigate things throughout this week, there could be a need for you to hold that energy that you do and emanate that for others. And especially with Mercury in retrograde, that challenges communication. So that is literally where people can feel like they're speaking another language. And that could be too like a frustration because it's like as clear as you're communicating, as thoroughly as you're listening, someone's still not getting it. Chalk it up and understand that the energies right now are really kind of muffling that and making it difficult too. So there's an aspect of that. Yeah, I don't care for the drama either. That juice is just not worth the squeeze for me. It is not that deep. If you want to emerge the victor, have at it. I'm good. So I'm with you on that for sure. That's beautiful energy. So I feel like your King of Cups and your King of Swords coming together is really beautiful. No drama, mama. All right, Gemma, this one is for you. Let's see what's coming up for Gemma. Card for Gemma. Okay, this is the 5 of Wands. Oh, hey, Tiffany, great. I'm glad. Welcome. The 5 of Wands is, I call this the stirring the poop card. This very similar to the 5 of Swords. You're welcome, Janetta. Very similar to the 5 of Swords. It can have to do with competing energies or people sort of grappling or stepping on top of each other or things sort of swirling around. That we have an opportunity to step away from. So I don't know if you saw when we were talking, I think it was after that you came in, this is an energy that sort of rounded out the week that was talking about there being rough or difficult things ahead, choppiness, and things happening where we have a choice about the energy that we're going to put into that, how much energy we're going to put into something that's really like a fruitless endeavor. This is a card of competition though, and I do want to see what she says in the book because sometimes that can be a good thing, to be inspired or to be in a place where we're expressing our wands in a group. But let's see what we have coming in with the 5 of Wands. Yeah, struggle. So not everyone is going to agree. Struggle surrounds you. You are going through an experience of transition. Inner turmoil has put you in a position of conflicting ideas and situations. You may feel trapped by the conflict and fighting that surrounds you as well as within you. You are feeling the energy of anxiety and confusion that may or may not be about you. Where in your life do you need to listen and, on the other hand, speak up? So that's interesting. We were just kind of talking about that with the woodpecker energy. Where in your life do you need to listen or, on the other hand, to speak up? Your world feels like it has been turned upside down, but really the world has placed you exactly where you need to be, where your eyes will be forced wide open and your ears will be made to listen. You have reached a boiling point. If you can no longer take the overwhelming feelings that goes along with the heavy energy, remove yourself from a timeout or altogether, so stepping away. So depending on how this energy is showing up for you, I know that you have been sharing, you have some really challenging things going on right now. Certainly those things are bringing in the vibration of anxiety and worry and some of those things that was just talking about that can be swirling around you. Additionally, this is talking about others around you in conflict and struggle that you may have more of a conscious choice. Like certain things happen that we can't avoid, that we're experiencing. But then there's things that we can choose whether or not to put our energy into, and being selective with what we're going to engage and how we are going to engage it. So whether we're speaking to it, listening to it, engaging in it, there's this selection going on there when it comes to that. And some of these other cards, this kind of set the tone for the week, and it is a card of laying down those swords, of not continuing to persist with all of that. And the swords represent our thoughts and our things swirling around in our head, and there being an opportunity to allow ourselves to just kind of retreat from that and to rest and getting grounded, breathing, connecting in with things like prayer and meditation and things that can help you to really attune to that higher vibration as you navigate some of the more challenging things and move through difficult emotions and situations. And so while you're doing that, certainly the last thing you need is to be pulled into anything like that sounds like the stirring of the poop or the struggle and those types of things. So some selectivity about what you are going to give your energy to, whether it's speaking, listening, participating in any way. So there's an energy there for you to I forgot to put the King of Swords in again, but that's funny because that woodpecker reference still came up for you. So that energy must have needed to lay around a little bit. So this is an energy to embrace when it comes to deciding about standing your ground or setting down and walking away, or calling your energy back to you of things that you're not going to be putting your energy into as well, that I have coming in there for you. So I hope that resonates for you and that some clarity is coming in as well for you. Okay, Kristen is next. Let's see what's coming up for you. Did I pick up everything? Yes. Okay. Let's see what's coming up here for Kristen. Ooh, I love this. I saw this earlier. It is Temperance. Oh, I love it. So look at that energy right there. So, oh, good, Gemma. I'm so glad that resonated for you. Thank you for coming too. This energy reminds me again of being on the kayak and taking in nature, because we know how this majestic bird is so deliberate in its movements and so slow in its steps, that Temperance is bringing in the energy of patience, the energy of balance, the energy of the middle way, and navigating things sort of gingerly. And so, there's a call for that here, so that anything that you're coming into or experiencing, or as you move through this week and all the things we've been talking about tonight, to approach it with that sense of balance and peace, harmony, in bringing in that middle way. But patience is another key word. So I'm just going to peek real quick just to see. That is such a beautiful card. Temperance is card 14. And it's talking about knowing what it's like to walk in muddy, mucky waters. And based on past experience, you know that you have no choice but to walk slowly, stabilizing yourself as to not fall over. In some cases, it takes great strength to wade through any type of water as the water pushes back against you. This allows for slow movement and contemplation on where to place your next footing. Perfect. So as you walk about, as you are moving through and you get to the muddy, mucky parts, that is where that contemplation and that sure footing is called for. So there's an invitation for you to embrace that balance and patience and really moving with that contemplative step as you move through for your next steps along the way, and really getting that balance in your footing. So situation, circumstance, something that you're moving through right now that could be coming to mind, or, that's on deck this week as you move through these energies, could be calling for sort of that deliberate movement and finding that balance in the middle. So that's what we have coming up with that gorgeous card for you. Temperance. I love that card anyway, and that's a really beautiful depiction. Beautiful. Yeah, it really is. Okay. see where we're at. Oh, good. You're so welcome. Ina, let's see what we have coming up for you. Thank you for popping in. I'm going to pull a card for you. And then this will kind of weave into the week ahead messages that we pulled for us collectively. See what's coming in as a message for you. That's the one. Ooh, let's see. Page of Wands. We've got a ladybug in the center. So that is really beautiful. Page of Wands energy coming in for you this week. So new messenger energy coming in. And I'm just getting the Lady Luck vibes there with that ladybug in the center and the new growth. And the green is bringing in for me like healing and new growth coming in. And so a lot of the energies that are building up this week, because we're culminating into this very powerful full moon in Scorpio lunar eclipse, there's a lot of volatility, there's a lot of shifting, and there's a lot of opportunity for us to shed and release and let go, which is then creating space for the new, right? So the Page of Wands is going to be speaking to, Wands is the fire element, and that's speaking to our passion, our creativity, our sparks, our work in the world, taking action, being inspired. So there's an energy of inspiration here too. And it's like seeing it from a distance is like you just lock right in on that, almost like a pin on a map, and it's a ladybug. So it's a beautiful omen of luck and prosperity, and really feeling into that as we were talking about Beltane and all of that. So let's just see real quick. I opened right into the wands, so that's good. Page of Wands. So yeah, new, right? So pages are the youngest of the court cards. So that's bringing in a new energy onto the scene. It can be like a novice energy or beginner energy, embarking on a new journey of learning, self-expression, and you could be feeling some eagerness about that. That's an energy of being eager to get out there and to really express these things, eager to learn new things. And it's really speaking into very reflective things like what life actually means to you and who you truly are and why you're here, and all those types of contemplative questions that we might ask if we were really embracing this Four of Swords of resting and receiving. And, and I don't mean that because we don't want to get all up in the head about that. That's not a question we're asking our head, right? We're speaking to the fire. We're speaking to the passion. So we're not going to find that answer in our head. We're not going to be able to analyze that answer. We're talking about what lights you up. What gets your fire going, right? So what inspires you, and then answering those questions from that place is what the wands would be speaking to. And your mind being open to all possibilities. So, right, mind open, clear, not accessing. So I feel like this energy of like stepping out of our head, stepping out of a lot of thoughts and feeling into, right, in order to really ignite those sparks and get that going. And so through that, being open, then you're able to move forward with clear intentions, ignited with passion and new ideas. So allow yourself to be inspired, and again, that ladybug energy, just kind of bringing in the new and just prosperous and beautiful energies for you to feel into. And just as we move on to the other side from all of this clearing, really setting out. The Page of Wands is like going out on that adventure and exploring. So there's an invitation for you to really tune into your passions and having some time maybe even created for you to really spend on that. And that's bringing in the Six of Pentacles energy that came up as how we're growing, getting better at balancing those scales and identifying, what we're investing our energies into. So thinking about those answers that come to you when you feel into it from an inspired place, those are the things that you want to invest in when you can, or to create space in order to invest time into those things, is what I'm getting there for you. So I hope that resonates for you, but you have this beautiful card coming in. Page of Wands. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful. King of Wands. Okay, yes. Fire. All right, Kristen, thank you for hanging in. Yes, getting sleepy. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate everything and all the beautiful energy everyone brings. Have an amazing week. Glenda is next. Okay, Glenda, this one is for you. Let's see what's coming up for you this week. Message for Glenda. Somebody's flipped over there. Interesting. The 8 and 7 of Cups were flipped over there. So let's see what's coming up for you. What's coming up here for Glenda? Okay, thanks, Jen. I know. Woo. Ooh, wow, look at that. Okay, so you've got the 9 of Cups. What a beautiful card. So this is known as the card of wishes fulfilled. Wait a minute. Okay. I said the 7 and 8 of Cups flipped over before, and this is the 9. So it went 7, 8, 9. And all night we've been talking about stepping stones. We've been talking about walking about and stepping on stones. So it's like the 7, the 8, culminating into the 9, which is such a beautiful, hopeful card. I'm going to tell you all about that. Let me see, Vina. Oh, great. You're starting an herb garden. Beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. These messages don't always let me see the whole thing. I'm definitely, after the live, when I sit down and I like decompress, I love to go back and read all everybody's comments. Thank you so much. And good luck with your herb garden. Right away when I saw this, Glenda, it looks like an arrow pointing up to heaven, right? It looks to me like it's actually like a pointer. Good night, Vina. Have a great week. And so it's about wishes coming true and things coming into fruition. And even here, the way it's giving me that is kind of like in miraculous ways, in ways that maybe you don't even see, like as if like coming in by magic, by coming in from heaven. Like it's looking like this energy of all of this abundance and these full cups in your life coming into fruition through, again, like the synchronistic of the 7, 8, 9. That was just so funny that that randomly they were flipped over in 2 different spots on the deck face up to get my attention, and they happened to be sequential. 7, 8, 9 of Cups. Cups are the element of water, which is associated with our heart chakra, with love and emotion and feelings and flow. And so it's really tuning in there. And, I mentioned that this week is sort of culminating into a full moon. It's in Scorpio, which is a water sign. So anytime that we have water energy, it's feels, right? There can be feels, and the full moon and all these other aspects that are going on right now can really be like churning things up for people and bringing things up. But this is a very hopeful card of showing wishes being fulfilled and things coming clear. Just look at, it's beautiful. So I feel like there's this really divinely unfolding for you that's happening like in a sequential thing where things could be coming together for you. And like I said, even in miraculous ways. But there's a lot of feeling there, right? So there's a lot of emotion and feels there, but abundance and blessings and gratitude. So as you tune into that vibration of what is possible and what is coming forward for you, you invite in more of the same. You attract in that energy. So it's really about focusing on those full cups and all of the blessings and abundance in your life, which then create the space to call in more of the same in very miraculous and beautiful ways. And again, it's very, very connected, I think, with the universe here, with the way that it's pointing up to the heavens. So I feel that connection too. So maybe some support from Team Spirit, and as far as, your loved ones in spirit and other that you would call upon for that energy of receiving and having gratitude. So beautiful card for you coming in there. 7, 8, 9. I love it. Very nice. Okay, so now we're up to Kendra. All right, lady, let's see what we have coming up for you. 7 is a cannibal. Why? Because 7, 8, 9. Yes, dad joke of the night. All right, Glenda, it's interesting. Think about those cups, what might be getting filled. It's beautiful energy, so definitely the more you tune into that, the more it calls in the same. Because 7, 8, 9, yes. All right, Kendra. There it is. Ooh. 10 of Wands. Have you been busy? Have you been doing a lot of work? Yeah, but look at it all. It's all stacking up. It doesn't look a mess. There's some 10 of Wands that are quite like, this is looking very orderly. It's looking very like stacked. And I feel like it's like an aspect of like tending to all the things in the order that I can attend to them. And yes, it's a lot and it's calling on for a lot of energy and you're feeling exhausted, but look how pretty it is. Like it's just feeling it's very aligned. And so, nonetheless, there's always an opportunity for us to divvy up the work, to allow others to help, to lean into each other where we can. So there's always an opportunity for us to look at that, 6 of Pentacles style. Yes, she does, right? That would so be Kendra. Like everyone else has like this big mess of tangled wands and Kendra's are like so pretty. She's buried underneath there, but they're really pretty. But I love that because again, these colors are giving me new beginnings, birth and growth. The blue and the green are very like earth energy of life giving. So you're laying this foundation, you're doing all of the things, and it's bringing in the new and creating the opening into the new. So I'll just look real quick and see if there's anything jumping out at me with this 10 of Wands, but for sure I see your pretty pile. Tall trees once started out as seeds. There's so much to do, there's so much piled up that you're feeling weighed down. Keep in mind, though, that what appears to be heavy is only just energy. Energy can be changed at any time you wish. You are ascending to a higher consciousness, but with that come hard lessons and work ahead. There is a responsibility to your higher self to follow through with all the lessons and do them with the best of your ability. When you do things to the best that you can, every part of your soul changes in the upper dimensions as well. When you do the work to heal past traumas that stem from generational situations, you are actually helping to heal your ancestors. Carrying the 10 of Wands is a big responsibility. The more work you do now, the easier things will be for you later. Rewards come for hard work. Beware of emotional attachments that may be dragging you down. Do not forget to clear your space and practice self-care. If cared for, growth is inevitable. So there's a lot there, and I love all of that. I think that's all definitely got some meaning in it for you. But it speaks to, again, like sometimes the coming around again or dealing with things or just having to deal with the mundane stuff that we really don't want to because it's not as inspiring. Our wands want to be firing and inspiring all the time, right? And doing all the things. That they all serve a purpose. And that recognize that even when you're doing the mundane things, that energy does impact your higher self in the upper realms and does still have a purpose there too. It's kind of coming full circle on Monday when we did the card pull for this past week. Chop wood, carry water, do the things, the everyday stuff, the mundane stuff, maybe the less inspiring stuff, but recognize that it's all a part of managing all of those wands and building the firm foundation that you have going on. So, and you can make it pretty as you do. So that one is for you, but very important there was not to forget the self-care. So save a wand for that, for sure. Okay, thank you guys. You're hanging in. We're coming in here to the final cards. We have Jennifer and Robert. So Jen, I'll pull your card next. See what's coming up here for you. Card for Jen. this is Judgment. So Judgment is that card of stepping out and being seen, of in your most authentic state, you know, unapologetically you, of answering the call of your higher self to really embrace that. And the sky's the limit, you know. This is a beautiful way to look at the Judgment card. It's like the call, it's calling your attention to see the ways in which you can really continue to step into that energy. Glenda, thanks for being here. You are welcome. Have a good night and a great week. So let's see what this depiction of Judgment is saying, because I'm feeling it about really stepping into your authenticity. Okay, let's see. She's given us a little background about this card when she photographed it. And I think it's speaking to this that I talked about with the things that are happening in the collective as well, and holding your vibration authentically you. So she says, I took this photo in 2020 when the energy of the earth and the collective consciousness was changing. It was on a day that felt energetic and out of this world. I knew that something was changing around me. On my walks, I like to do cloud divination. The clouds were incredible on this particular day. I have yet to see anything as fantastic as that day. And I caught this photo, which to me almost felt like there was a split in timelines, one for the aware and one for the unaware. You are all mirrors for one another. So it is possible that each timeline can also be a mirror that helps you to see more into what you need to know in order to awaken even further. So this is what we were talking about the reflection and what people show us and reflect back to us, so that even if I've determined that those little ducklings are on a completely different walk than me, and I'm okay, as for me, I'm over here holding my unconditional love and compassion and all, isn't that cute, duckling? You know, I can also see what that reflects back to me, the other that I'm interacting with and I'm holding a place. Because also there's an aspect of Judgment that speaks to judgment and criticism, that has us look at, you know, ways in which we've been judged and criticized, and also how we may have judged and criticized ourselves, or also ways that we have judged and criticized others, you know, and being able to see that contrast. And she's suggesting too, even if you are on the aware timeline, what that might be reflecting back to show you, so that you can continue to expand and reach higher levels of consciousness. So that's a big, I mean, this is a big card. This is 20 of the major arcana, so it's almost to the end. So at this point, we're pretty evolved and expanded. So we get bigger messages here. So there's this message about embracing that. And so there's a lot of aligning with your soul mission here, your soul destiny, you know, reaching a new way of living and a new way of seeing. So there's an opportunity now to realign yourself to this new frequency. And you see life in its multidimensional holographic state. You recognize that you are destined for so much more than you thought. Life is taking you on a 180-degree turn, learning and remembering past lives, galactic heritage. Step into this new field of enlightenment. This is a time of great transformation, and only more will unfold from this. Continue to speak your truth and search for truth. If you have been finding yourself going down the rabbit hole, know that you are only being guided to look for and find what your soul already knows to be true. A remembering. Time is an illusion. Every experience that you are having is just a new form of it. So wow, that's big and expansive, like the skyline, but you can bring that down and ground into what is that showing me about potential for me right now, because I am expanding and growing and learning new things and taking it to the next level in all different ways in my life, and all the while chopping the wood and carrying the water and doing all the things that we've talked about and balancing those scales and finding ways, like we're ever evolving and expanding. So it's just maybe a call to, you can't not see, it's so big there in the sky that you see the call to continue to contemplate and unfold into what's next, you know, like all this stuff that I know and I'm bringing with me, I'm continuing to learn and grow. In fact, you said it today really beautifully in your video, saying that we all can grow and learn to grow and heal, like everyone can in some way or another. So there's that energy coming in for you. So something for you to reflect upon as you look at what are you leaving behind and releasing and shedding this week with the full moon, and what are you ready to claim as yours in the new on the other side. Okay, Robert. Wow, yeah, we really took this long. Thank you guys for hanging in. Bringing it in here. You're welcome. Thank you. Card for Robert. Let's see what's coming up for you and if we can place you in this card. Ooh, you got the Empress too. So this was your card, right? We already placed you in this card. You were in the inner tube. You knew you belonged here. So you are also pregnant with possibilities. Okay, you are birthing something. You are having labor pains and contractions too. It's all a part of this process, right? But you still have your life ring, right? You were sitting, can you throw us that emoji again so we can see what we're talking about for the three of us that are here? Yes, you could be rich with pregnant with possibilities, birthing new. What's the baby or the project that you're birthing and bringing forward? So, you know, all of these messages tonight were to say that this is the garden and we're clearing out what is not. There you are, living large. I love it. Yes. So you are just floating along, splashing in the pond, weightless and free. But, you know, all these messages are talking about us clearing out. Yes. Splish splash. I love it. Oh, there you are, a little piggy. Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's going to be all about tending to the weeds, clearing things out, and really nurturing what we are growing and focusing on those positives. And that's something that we'll be talking about more, because we're going to be delving in deeper to the healing and the things that you were talking about with the sandbags. And we're going to look at that further to see, you know, and again, Empress, body, what is our body telling us? If we use the pregnancy analogy, tuning into those, the feels that come up within the body that we can use to help heal. So we'll talk more about that, but I just love that this is the third time that the card came up tonight and you were on it every time. So you knew this was for you, Empress energy, which is, you know, tuning into receiving as well, into the divine feminine, which is allowing yourself to receive and allowing yourself to embrace that energy of more just being and receiving, which is again taking us back here as well. All right, we did it, guys. We're still here. Thank you both so much. It's amazing. I have so much fun, and I appreciate you guys immensely. Hearts coming out to you, thanking you, and appreciating you always. We will talk more, but thank you guys and everyone that hung in. I think we have like one other person left on here, so thank you guys so much. We'll have the replay tomorrow. Lots of love and many blessings.